Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, welcome back, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Jeremy's back.
Welcome to another fun edition of Supernatural Talk. Myself and Jan and the notorious NICK. Anyway,
It was her idea.
Jan's idea. I thought that was brilliant, and the reason behind that is that it's just like a little inside joke between us. Um, it's a very poorly kept secret of Nick being notoriously late.
It's one of those things like everybody knows Nick. Like, and it's so amazing because I love getting tagged in Nick's posts because I feel special. Like I'm one of the ones getting tagged. I'm like, yes, and then you look and there's all these other people and you're like, that's right. I know the notorious Nick.
That's because Nick is doing it the smart way, doing it for the people that enjoy being tagged instead of doing the everybody that pisses everybody off.
Yeah, especially those who just tag everyone in it. Like the actual everyone. I don't do that.
I give you credit. It must take you a while to do that. So that's why I feel so loved. It's either that or you have us in this like special group chat like thing or like section. And you're like this section of friends only.
I cannot even tell you right now how long it's because like literally at first when I'm like putting those like holiday music posts together, I'm trying to decide what would be a good song for this holiday because I have all these lists and I'm trying to think what can I use that would sound awesome, and then I choose it, and then afterwards is when I make my statement or speech. What that probably takes longer than anything else, like probably like an hour.
The
sometimes.
choice.
Yeah, but I don't want to sound like I'm always repeating myself every single time. And then afterwards is when the tagging comes along.
I know there's a lot of people that look forward to those musical posts of yours.
It's just sad, though, that I won't be doing it for a while because since Easter was early, I won't be doing this again until 4th of July.
I'll come up with a holiday.
Well, actually, no.
Mother's Day.
Jeez.
I could find a good Mother's Day song for you.
Well, actually, no. I just thought of. I just had another idea. What's that?
Mother's Day in May, Father's Day in June. I actually picked the perfect song for you for Mother's Day.
What's going on, Brad?
Brad, I was actually just about to message you, find out where the hell you were.
Yeah, I've been wondering where he's.
Hi, Sean.
Uh-oh, we got a visitor.
No, we have a three-legged rabbit.
What's up, Emily?
A three-legged rabbit?
A three-legged rabbit.
What do you got, like the legendary rabbit's foot, or?
Well, no, I don't know what happened to this poor rabbit. I'm going out the driveway today, and my wiener beagle is hanging back. Okay, he's a bot though. He's like, I see you. He's scoping out his rabbit. My lab pointer, she's old, and she's like, yo, you see this rabbit? And I'm looking at this rabbit, and it's really close to me, and I'm like, it's injured. It has to be injured because of the way it's hopping. I look over, and sure enough, its paws, gone. It was just, its rabbit's foot was gone. And it was doing just fine hopping along. It still looked like it happened, it looked recent. So I had to yell at my dog. So I'm like, no, like, get away from this bunny. You cannot eat it. It is a survivor. Like, if I pick it up and bring it into the house, the dogs won't attack it. And almost let me get it. So I was pretty disappointed that it didn't come to me. I should have been a little bit more patient.
We actually have a guy here in the neighborhood. He walks his dog, and it's only got 3 legs as well. It's missing the entire leg on the hind end, and it just goes right on along like nothing's wrong with it.
I remember back in high school, there was when we used to visit my grandmother who lived in a retirement home. The top floor, they had 2 cats, and one of them was actually a beautiful Siamese cat. It had like this black and golden color to it. And then the other one was like one of those grayish, blackish ones, but that one too only had 3 legs. In fact, they actually came up with the perfect name for it. They called it tripod.
Evil, huh? It was evil, wasn't it?
It was what?
Was it evil?
No, it was actually really friendly.
Oh man, all of my black and gray cats have been just crazy.
Because
Of course, when you name them Gideon, your kids pretend to use them as a shotgun. You know, just walk around.
that was like,
you're like, no, you can't do
Well,
that.
maybe some of those cats were buried at the pet cemetery and they came back.
I truly believe that with this cat. I mean, he was such a character. I love this cat though.
It's duck
I really
season.
did. It is.
We actually got it. We've had a few ducks actually using our swimming pool in the backyard.
Brad, that is so true. That is so
Rabbit
true.
Season. I already know.
It's always rabbit season for my dogs. It's lunch, you know. We had a Flemish giant. Do you know what a Flemish giant is?
I don't.
No, I don't.
Okay,
know.
it's a really big rabbit. They're huge. They get as big as Labrador, like golden retrievers.
What are they called?
Flemish giants. Well, I adopted one because you can adopt them, you can raise them, you know, you can breed them.
Oh,
And
I've seen those kinds of rabbits before.
Oh my God, they're huge.
yeah, isn't it so cute? They're so soft and they're so fluffy. Oh,
Are they like the world's largest rabbits, or?
yes,
They have to
yes,
be.
yes.
But I've seen pictures of these kinds of rabbits. I've never heard its name before.
Yeah,
But,
it's
wow. Can you imagine how much those things eat?
oh
And
yeah,
how much and how heavy they are.
Oh, it was glorious. My lab
Jackie.
pointer, it would drive the dog crazy. The dog would have to cuddle with this rabbit, and she'd look at me like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" I let her out in the yard, and we had no wild rabbits for some reason in our yard. No wild rabbits.
Every now and then we would get a rabbit running through here, but I haven't seen one yet this spring.
Brad, I already knew the reference. Yeah, he's rabbit season, duck season. It's revolve around Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. I say it's duck feed season. I say fire.
Actually, you know what? I might be able to write up a short story around Flemish giant rabbits.
But they're amazing. They have a personality, and I tell you what, you get a Flemish giant in your house, and they run the house. I have never seen a cat back down off of any animal. My cats wouldn't even get near this rabbit. She ruled the dining room.
I can't say I blame the cat.
Yeah, she had a chicken coop for her rabbit hutch in the dining room, and because that's the only thing that could fit her, she just wandered around the house like she owned it, and the animals would just go the other way.
So I'm
pretty sure that the goats.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we used to stick her outside in a pen with the goats when they were babies, and the goats would back away from her. And she'd just lay out.
There's a store in Eureka Springs, Arkansas that has 2 rabbits that give you your change. Wait, what? Unless that's a mistype. I don't know what gives you your change. I don't know what he's talking about.
Has 2 rabbits that give you your change.
Why do I know that I am missing something here?
Yeah, I feel like I'm missing something here too.
Like it's going over my head, and I'm gonna feel.
I'm thinking those automatic change givers at the cashiers. You know what I'm talking about? I'm thinking one of those that might be.
Clue, but it's peaceful. I
It's
looked
just
up.
peaceful because Adrian's not here.
Here we go.
I looked up. I didn't realize. Oh my God, those things are huge. I didn't realize they came from.
They're so soft.
I also didn't realize they originated from Belgium, out in Europe.
They're gorgeous. Oh man. And Dylan used to tell me, hey mom, when Chizzy dies, can I make a moccasin? Like 2 moccasins out of her? Like she's so soft. And he'd rub his feet through her fur. And I'm like, no, Dylan.
You
I
can
just
make a
wonder-
bodysuit out of that.
Yeah. I just wonder.
I wanna
like, how
wear
they
it.
I just wonder, like, how do they get so big?
It's
They're
just
just-
the breed that they are.
Yeah, it's just it's the OG bunny.
Well, here's the real question too. I wonder, like, how long do they live for? Because just like dogs, like the bigger they are, they probably don't live that long.
They do live. Chezzy passed away. She was like 15.
Okay.
So I don't really know how long they live for. I mean, I'm at 15 as far as we know she was.
I've been eating
Right, I tell you what, my
vegetables.
bunny was
But
boiled,
really,
fresh.
Nick, it wouldn't be any different from an anaconda, how big those things get, or the camel spiders, how big they get.
Well,
So why not a rabbit?
well, yeah. I mean, I know that. I'm just only asking because, like, you know, like for example, with dogs, like if you got like a Great Dane type dog, those dogs they're so big that they only live for like 8 to 10 years, if that. So that's why I wonder, doesn't that affect other animals out there too, or?
Oh yeah, because you have to imagine. I mean, how fast does a rabbit's heart beat?
It's probably pretty fast.
Okay, I just
About the
looked up.
breeding.
Typical lifespan for a Flemish rabbit is 8 to 10 years.
Oh, so I was right then. So just like that's almost as long as like a giant dog. Oh, if you have dollar bills for your change, they give it to the rabbit in its mouth and it puts it in your hand.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Whoa. Wow. Wow.
That's
I would
what I was.
actually like to go to that.
Pretty fast when he sees Lola Rabbit. He's referring to the heartbeat.
Well, I was thinking more on the lines of Jessica, but
Well, that's Roger Rabbit, not Bugs Bunny.
I was thinking, Jessica Rabbit. Like
Yeah, she's the one that's got the curve.
Yeah.
she has the warning label. She's in red.
Yeah.
The true lady in red.
And Lola, she's the sporty one.
Yep.
So I would more kind of gravitate towards that one.
Yeah. Hey, what's
Hi,
going
Rita.
on, Rita?
Hey, Rich. By the way, I forgot to say hi. I'm trying to
The
keep up.
store is called East to West. That's what the store is called.
My cousin was telling me about that. Like,
Oh my God! How does Jessica Rabbit even have internal organs with that waist?
well,
Right.
she called Betty
You know
Boop,
what?
and she asked Betty Boop how she packed all that junk in her trunk.
Okay, think about it. Way back in the day
Just-
when women would wear those really tight garters,
Girders.
yeah, and it would shape their bodies to where after so long they would take it off, their bodies stay in that shape.
Binding.
Yep.
It's called binding. I mean, look at the ancient Egyptians did it. We did it to our waist. I mean, why? Why did we do it to our waist? We had to have babies. What were we thinking?
Right.
Like seriously, women.
That poor
But to bind
waist.
the feet. Is
Well,
it the
you know-
Japanese or the Chinese that bind the feet?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I would have said the fact that they shaped it. Man, what a waste!
Amen.
And there are also cultures out there that they extend their necks.
Yeah.
Mhm. Or their earlobes, it's the rite of passage.
But JR is such an unrealistic shape that's beyond binding.
Well, Barbie can't even put it out. I
You have
agree.
to remember, she's also a tune.
How did she balance in those heels? And how did the girls stay in place? Really?
With practice.
Practice. So if you shape the waist like that, does that mean everything moves up?
And down.
I'm going to
Splits
abstain.
right in half. It's like go take a water balloon and put a rubber band around it. I'll even do sound effects.
Have you ever seen those videos where somebody is bursting a water balloon and they put it in extreme slow motion?
Yep.
That
I've
How
is
seen
cool
those.
is that?
You know what videos I like with the rubber bands?
What
The
rubber bands?
watermelon.
Oh, the,
The
watermelon.
watermelon.
Oh yeah, you like a slingshot.
No. There's actually a guy on TikTok I've
You
seen a
wrap
few
it.
months ago. He takes a watermelon and he just puts rubber band after rubber band after rubber band on it until it bursts.
Wow. Jeez, I didn't even think that existed.
I want to do it to
Oh,
where
yeah.
see if I can wrap up the whole like watermelon and have it like burst inside a complete solid mass of like rubber bands and just shake it and just have like a watermelon filled like rubber band ball. What I would do with it, I have no idea. I just want to accomplish it. It's like, you know, these shows that build all these cars. Like, I just want to see if I can accomplish it and maybe donate it. It might stink after a while. I mean, I don't know how rubber band and watermelon would smell after
Try
about
it.
20 years.
Go
We
get you a
freeze it.
watermelon. Go
Oh my God.
get your rubber bands. Try it.
See, how do you think they castrate animals? They use rubber bands. Until
Oh,
it
Brett, I
falls
know. I
off.
know how to do it. I'm certified. I'm actually certified in doing that. That's called banding. You want to come see me? Do you
Oh
know
my
what
God.
happens in February? It's, you know, spay and neuter your pets for free.
Well,
I think Brad just gave the same answer that for all.
double witness protection.
Yeah.
Sean's like, I'll pass.
Actual triple witness protection.
I'm old school. See, Adrian and everybody will talk the talk. I'll just show you how it's done. Step by step, nice and gentle, one by one. And there goes the dogs after the three-legged rabbit again. It's bad enough when they chase lizards.
Hey, what's up, Jennifer?
Hi, Jen. Yeah. Thank you, Rita, for understanding that.
I think he shocked quite a few people there, Chad.
I can see it, something like that would be more like in lines of a dominatrix, where it's,
Yeah.
you know, all real calm and everything, and then
See, I hear they're
What do
looking
we
for,
have here?
looking for people for the
There's my
Mars
purse.
mission. Time I sign up.
You know, let's talk about that for a moment. How crazy is this? Okay, we have
Don't
AI
snap
dogs
the
now.
rubber band.
We have AI bots now. We've got this mission to Mars, which is like the coolest thing, and everything. All the supplies should already be on their way, right? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure they are.
They're bringing more
I
stuff
did-
over.
This is so cool. I mean, my daddy worked for Lockheed for years, so this to me is just it's phenomenal. But let's talk about the mental, like, strength you have to do that, to leave everything behind and know you can never come back. Like the courage, the bravery, the guts, the drive to start new somewhere. That has to be such a passion.
well, you know, to be perfectly honest, with the way that this world is right now, and the way that 90% of the people are right now, I think there'll be a lot of people that would have no issues going off to Mars so that they didn't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
Well, they've already chosen the people for the first round. They chose them years ago, and they've been in training. They've been in psychological classes and therapy and
Hey, Ron.
everything, learning. Hi, Ron. Running tests, running simulators. So, I mean, they're about ready to go. And that
He knows what I'm
is
talking about.
awesome.
How many conversations had we had on that one alone?
Yeah, I would do it. You know, I as much as I'd probably go to Mars. I really would.
I probably would too.
I just want to go to space. I would. I'd go to space. As claustrophobic as I am, if you put me on something like Star Trek, let's go.
Did you guys ever see? I don't know if you guys remember this, but this was from a few years ago on Did you guys ever watch that television series that was called Mars? It was on National Geographic. You seen that? It was a really good show. I wish they could have gone on for at least one more season, but it was kind of like both a drama and documentary series rolled into one, because it was it was like a fictional story of like the first people ever going to Mars. I think it's set in the 2030s. And, it shows them how they start not only exploring, but also adapting to life on Mars, which, yes, there have been many other shows and movies that have displayed that, but this was probably one of the far better ones. But it not only just focuses on this, that's like one segment in the show. Then the other segment that they show is what I call the documentary sequence, where they interview different like space experts, different like well-known scientists, like who was on? Oh, man, I'm
Brad, me too.
doing the spirit box on Mars.
Hold on, Nick. Hold on. I gotta say this because Jen's on, and she would get it. I would be the first person on Mars to go, here's my right hand, here's my left hand. I put my right hand down. I put my left hand down. I put my right foot down. I'm going to completely ground and connect energy-wise to Mars. I'll be back. I'm going to download that as a medium. Left foot. I'm gone. Just feed me through an IV. I just want to feel the energy.
Spots open up.
Doing a spirit box session on Mars automatically makes me think of the movie Ghost of Mars.
Yeah, not for my kid. I would do it. I don't know who this Facebook user is, but
hello,
Hey.
whoever this is.
See, Jen knows.
Howdy, folks. It's got to
Jen
be
knows.
It's got to be who?
Denise.
Oh, Denise. Okay.
Jen, I can just see us both laying there on the ground. We stand up and there's a button prints and our hand imprints, and we're, it's just us. And then we just leave. And 1,000 years from now, somebody goes to Mars and goes, "What is this?"
That's what I was about to say. The first ever imprint on Mars done by a human.
We'll sign it, Jan and Jen.
what do you guys think about this? I think this could be absolutely true. I think it's more than possible. But what do you think that Mars at one time was exactly like the Earth?
Mars Angels. We could be Mars's first angels.
Martian angels.
We could be Martian. Yeah, she's about to say Martian angel.
I'm already ahead of you.
Yeah,
yeah, we can see you now, Denise.
What? Okay, so what do I think of what?
No, he was asking if like Mars at one point was like Earth. I believe it probably was, because there's been this huge belief about that Mars did support life at some point.
I think it was. I think it probably was.
I sit down and you think of, where did certain things come from? Where does certain bacteria come from? Is gas? We have gas here on Earth. We have gas here. We have gas there. There's water on other planets. We've proven that.
Yep.
So why not Mars?
Yeah. And Mars, I think, is just outside of the Goldilocks zone. And
yes.
I think maybe back then it was inside the Goldilocks zone.
Well, they're actually saying it could eventually re-enter the Goldilocks zone, although not for 5 billion years, because as we all know, they say in about 5 to 7 billion years from now, the sun will turn into a red giant and consume Mercury. Yeah, they said supposedly it will consume Mercury, Venus, and Earth, although Earth would be destroyed because the sun would be larger, and also for the time being, Mars would truly be the new Earth then, because now with it being bigger and brighter, it would warm it up, wouldn't it?
No, because when the sun expands, it's going to be that much closer to Mars.
Oh, that's true.
So it's 8 light minutes from the sun to the Earth, and I forget how long it is from the Earth to Mars.
It's a
But
I-
once it is,
I agree with
Hmm?
I agree with Brad. I
the
agree with
second
Brad.
Earth.
It only makes sense that we depleted every single resource on another planet just to take up resource on another one.
I
And we
haven't
left all that history
trans-
behind. We left all
Thanks,
that
David.
history and all that knowledge behind.
Well,
and,
here
and whatever there was there.
I'm gonna show you guys something here. Like, say if we were to like eventually colonize Mars. This is where they basically say how Mars would look if we were somehow able to terraform it, and you'll see very quickly it would look just like Earth.
Tips.
Yeah. Just like Earth. Almost to a T.
Mhm.
And there's pyramids on Mars that match pyramids here on Earth that we have captured with cameras. And all of a sudden,
I've seen that.
yeah, there's certain features on Mars that have that are similar here on Earth. It's just
It's half the size of
mountain
Earth.
ranges. What if we cloned a planet? What if we just went copy paste?
Who's to say
That'd be
that Earth
interesting.
is not that?
Right. I got your Big Bang Theory.
You know,
Select.
I also thought too.
Select.
You also have to remember too, even with Mars the way it is right now. I mean, don't forget there is some water on Mars already because it's got the
There is.
polar ice caps, but it's frozen.
I mean, they have proven that it's rivers
Yeah.
and there's mountains.
Hi,
And
Mort.
What's up, Mort?
hey, Mort, I can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see what the first people back on Mars do. And I say that in full confidence, back on Mars.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
And what are we going to see from Mars? That's the cool thing. Like think about how much closer we are to, other planets. What are we going to be able to see?
Right. Well, and
Like,
that's
that
kind of like,
blows my mind.
and that's kind of like what that show Mars kind of demonstrated on National Geographic. So, and I was going to say, like the people that they interview on the document, they interview people like, Elon Musk, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Michio Kaku, all these big names, and they actually show like, they actually kind of tested out like how would it be if we were eventually able to go to Mars, not just on the show, but we're starting to see people trying to colonize parts of Antarctica, which is like obviously the coldest area in the entire planet. And yes, it's the coldest part of Earth, but it's certainly not as cold as what you see on Mars. So they're actually doing something like that right now for Antarctica as the first step before we eventually colonize Mars, because it's so cold on Mars. They say the warmest it ever gets to Mars is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's as warm as it gets.
This is going to sound funny, but
What's that?
us humans can adapt to weather. We've proven it. We have people that live in Alaska. We have people that can survive in Antarctica. Our bodies will eventually evolve to be able to support life on another planet. Who says we won't become hairier? Who says that we won't become Bigfoot?
Polar regions
That-
are negative
I'm being
223 degrees
truthful.
Fahrenheit. Yeah. Negative 223
As Jesse's
degrees
rubbing his
Fahrenheit.
hairy belly and he's like, yeah, I'm already prepared. Let's go.
There you go. I mean, he can be there. He can be the Martian Bigfoot.
Well, I also
But-
wonder too, if our bodies were able to evolve, would that also include being able to breathe? Because most of the atmosphere is mostly gas, not oxygen.
Remember the end of Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I've only seen parts of Total Recall.
Towards the end of Total Recall, what did they do? They did something. They found some sort of an engineering thing underground. And once they got that going, it opened up a whole bunch of pillars and mountains, and it put something in the air. And what was in the air started circling around the planet and it created an atmosphere,
Mhm.
a
Okay.
beautiful atmosphere for the planet of Mars.
So that
Well,
would
like-
probably be including for terraforming.
Yes. And that's what Brad's talking about. They heated up a bunch of ice to create oxygen. Because what does water have in it? You have oxygen, you have these gases. Well, if you mix oxygen with this type of gas, and there's different types of gases on Mars. So we don't even know really all the gases that we have.
Right.
We could probably, I hate this, it sounds crazy, but maybe we can manufacture water. Maybe up there we can manufacture oxygen.
It's
That
Kind of
possible.
like
What I would think.
That's what I'm kind of thinking
the
too.
Lorax.
Because
It's
you
the
know-
Lorax.
I also wondered this too because, well, actually, no, I was just thinking of this too. Is that if you remember in the last episode of the Mars and National Geographic, I often wonder if we're going to eventually discover this too. But eventually, they discover like these very small, it's just microscopic, but these organisms that they find, which shows that there is truly life on Mars. In other words, at the end of the show, they discover extraterrestrial life. Not necessarily exactly aliens, but life forms. But microscopic. That shows that maybe some way, shape, or form, Mars still does support some type of life.
Well,
Even
right
today.
now, all we know is what we've seen from the pictures, and they have gotten. I think they've gotten soil samples,
Yes,
from
they
Mars.
have.
but they have, as far as I know, they have never actually dug underneath and gone X amount of feet or meters into the ground of Mars. So for all we know, they may go somewhere and be like today's archaeologists, where they find a bunch of lost cities buried underneath there.
What if those pyramids were actually pyramids and we walked into there and there was already supplies from 100 years ago waiting for us to come back? What if they live inside of Mars because it is so cold?
Like underground?
What if that's like Middle Earth? I'm being serious. What if they live like Middle Earth? What if there is an atmosphere underneath because it is so cold?
Well, Mars
Yeah.
would be a place to have have Mordor there. So
There are Transformers on Mars. The movie was just preparing us.
I love that movie.
There's
It's not the movies, the cartoons, the comics. I love it all.
okay, so think about Transformers, and it is actually kind of getting scary now with what they're doing with AI. And that's exactly what Transformers are. They are artificial intelligence.
yeah.
So the stuff that they're doing now, I've been going through articles. There was one article where they did an AI fur baby and said something about how long would it take to take over the world. And it was going through this great description about it. And then there was an article that I saw, I didn't read it, but there was something about they let
Over in
25
the Terminator.
AI bots loose in a virtual town to see what they would do.
I have to say something with all this AI coming out. I don't feel comfortable with it. I'm not comfortable with it at all. I don't like it, not whatsoever. I like the sticks and stones. I'm really old school. I'm surprised I get as far as I do on my phone and my computer. We got rid of the Furby for a reason.
Oh, the Furbies.
All right. We got rid of those sinking little creepy dolls for a reason. And it was the first step into really what they can do with communication
Right,
between
right.
objects.
Megan,
And I think about
Megan,
this
yes.
web. I'm looking at Brad reading about what he's saying his name. I remember this meme, and it was so my wife asked me what I was doing the other night in the kitchen. And I told her I was hunting Decepticons. She told me that was ridiculous. She laughed. I laughed. The toaster laughed. We need to go get a new toaster in the morning.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say this, but we used to own one back in the 90s.
Me too. You know what? I think I did some ritual with it and I burned it.
Oh my God. That's what we didn't do. Your Chucky
about
movie was-
that one there, the new Chucky movie. It's not exactly that it was AI gone wrong. It's just that it was a disgruntled employee completely stripped it of all of his safety protocols.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that it went wrong. It was shipped out that way. It was made to be like. Now, Megan, on the other hand, that was AI gone wrong.
Yep, it was. Oh man, we should have said that when we were talking about that on Don's show.
Well, sometimes you don't think about that.
I wasn't thinking. Listen, Chrissy's here. Now
Hi,
I'm actually going to
Chrissy.
show. I'm going to show one other picture. This I thought was really cool. It's also in association with Mars too. Is the sunsets? I'm going to show a comparison of different sunsets, one from Earth and then one from Mars itself. And you
Okay.
guys are going to find this interesting. Check this out. You see a similarity between the sunsets?
Mm-hmm.
You see how, like, obviously it's sun's yellow, but around it it's red, and then on the top here is blue. But
Well, you also got to think it's different atmospheres too. So
It
there's
is.
different gases up there.
there is.
Can you
and it-
imagine the different colors?
Yeah, well, and on this side with
Check.
Mars, it's actually the opposite effects. You can see it's blue, and then it's red on top. So it's like a mirror effect between
Yeah.
the skies of both planets.
You know, it's
Well, no, Brad,
Yeah,
it does. It has gases around it. Planets, every planet has an atmosphere. It has something around it, whether it be rocks, whether it be whatnot. It's whatever's in its orbital field. Is that what I want to say, Nick?
Possibly. Well, what were you going to say, Jeremy?
think of the irony of this. Here we are on the blue planet, and the sun comes up as yellow, red, orange, and all of that. Now you go over to the red planet, and the sun looks blue.
Yeah. And you can see I know it's also kind of a little bit foggy. I mean, it's the dust that's flying around, but yeah, it's blue. It's red. It's like red, yellow here, and then you got the blue sky on top. And then, like I said, yeah, it's blue when the sun is around it, and the sky on top is like a reddish orange color.
And it looks like that from Mars, you might actually be able to look at the sun for maybe just a very short amount of time.
Yeah, because the sun is farther away at this point.
Yeah.
This
What
is
if all
actually-
those aliens we see in those, and they look all weird and they look like, with big black eyes, like they
Oh,
say,
the grays?
the grays.
Yeah.
What if they're so cold that their skin is just like really thick like lizards, and that's how they breathe, and because they're so close to the sun, their eyes are like sunglasses.
It
Brad
could be.
makes it-
And we
Yeah.
get there to their planet, we're going to be the weird looking ones to them.
Yeah, Mark. I do agree with what Brad's saying. Mars has no atmosphere, and part of the reason
Here's
for its
a
unusual
little bit
mirrors,
of-
there's no.
Not much.
It has a little bit of it, but it has, because of the lack of full atmosphere. There's a reason why there's nothing for it to reflect on. So that's
Mars
why.
has more atmosphere than the moon does.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. And he said earlier, apparently, that the moon has a bunch of water in it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, if something hits a planet, say we had a meteor hit this planet and it hit the ocean and it hit hard enough, what says it can't project water elsewhere? What says that we weren't closer to each other and something didn't pull us all further apart,
It would have to hit hard enough, and I think it would also have to be of a specific size.
Well, I
Hit
think
an
also,
angle,
too,
everything.
Well, I think also too. I thought parts of the moon was also like developed by like fragments of Earth. I thought parts of it came from Earth itself. Or am I thinking that
I
wrong? Or
heard something about that, and I also heard that there was that it was the second moon.
Yeah. I wasn't sure, but I know Mars has two moons of its own, Phobos and Deimos.
It was some time ago, but I remember reading something where way back in ancient times when the Earth was still kind of forming, there was already a moon there, and then something happened, and there was fragments of the Earth and fragments of that moon that created the moon that we have now.
Yeah, that's
You
what I
know,
thought.
I always think it's interesting that how many times in movies and books and sometimes in history there are two moons depicted.
It's possible considering like Mars has two moons of its own, so why not Earth? And
Well,
Jupiter.
why does Earth only have one moon? Every other planet has multiple moons.
Well, except one, believe it or not, except Venus.
Venus. I was going to say except for Venus.
Yeah.
Does Mercury have a moon?
Oh, you know what? I don't think Mercury does either. You know what I'm thinking?
No.
Okay. Let me. I know exactly. I thought wrong. So Mercury and Venus are the only ones that don't have moons. Venus is. I'm thinking of something else. Get this.
Mercury. They think that Venus is Mercury's moon.
Well, no, not even that. It's not even that I was thinking of.
What was that? No,
Venus
Pluto.
was-
I'm thinking of Pluto.
Venus was is the only planet. Venus is the only planet in the solar system that actually rotates the opposite direction. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
All the others.
No, I was thinking of Pluto.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Pluto, and that's beyond Pluto. They have found another planet, which they have called also the second Earth possibility.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad just sent me a little diagram here. I'm not going to show it, but it's a diagram of Earth and the old moon, which in this one here is called Theia. So, and it shows here that it's theorized that Theia impacted on the Earth, and then it created a ring around the Earth, and that ring all started coming together and formed the moon.
Okay.
It does make sense.
That's what this diagram is showing me here. Oh, he just sent me something else here.
You know, I wonder if we put up two moons, like if we could figure it out and we put up two moons and we put it up against the other calendars,
Oh, this.
Well,
the ancient
I also
calendars,
wondered.
how would everything line up?
Well, I also
with
wondered too if
rotation?
it would actually help out if we had a second moon, because get this. I mean, some people know this, others don't, but some people, it's believed now that the moon is starting to slowly drift away from Earth. You know, it moves
We
like
wobble.
at a centimeter. It's just like, oh no, I've heard that it's slowly moving away, like at an inch, like per year or whatever it is, and eventually the moon will eventually be drifting off to space. Now, some people have theorized, well, isn't there a way we could push it back into Earth's orbit? That probably would not do. I mean, even if we had the technology for it, that probably would not be a smart idea, because they said if we were to do that, not only would it be pushing back outwards, it would be pushing back a lot faster than it already is.
Well, it's not only that, but who are we to correct it? Who
Yeah.
do we think that we are the ones to go out and fix the problem?
Yeah.
You know, why can't we just let nature take its course? Why do we always have to stop something? You know what? If there's a massive asteroid coming to the Earth right now, I do believe we probably deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Consider
let's
the
think about this.
Redheaded.
Let's just think
stepchildren.
about consequences. Yeah, I'm such a mom. I'm like, I will listen here, every human on Earth. This asteroid is coming. Okay, do you know why this asteroid is coming? Have you seen the way that you are acting? Do you think you deserve to live upon this Earth? No.
You know,
That's what that asteroid's for.
Uh,
You learned your lesson yet?
Armageddon Part 2, Noah's Ark.
there is.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I don't know
I'll
if you
start
guys.
building.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. There actually was a photograph that was taken by NASA. It was a few years ago of apparently a UFO that was right next to the sun. And it almost appeared as if the UFO was actually controlling the sun in some way. So, Jan, you're probably right on that part. Is maybe it's who are we to do it, but someone else may know how to do it. At least another species
Right.
does.
Yeah, because what if we mess up their world?
Yeah.
What if we're messing up? Yeah, there's so much beyond what we know. Like we said, we can tell you that organisms come from outer space to Earth on asteroids,
Yep.
on meteors. We can prove that. Brad, we are not the only thing on this Earth that is abnormal. If you want to get technical, the only thing that belongs on this Earth is the fungi. All right?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, really, an octopus has no place on this Earth. A seahorse, where the heck did a seahorse come from?
Jellyfish.
Let's look at what lives in our ocean. Yeah, jellyfish. We have to look at everything and say, where did it come from?
And
Because-
the crazy thing is, we haven't even discovered a third of what's actually out there in the ocean.
Oh yeah.
We can't get there. We can go to outer space, but we can't get to the center of the Earth.
Right.
I know. Well, the other thing,
It's so crazy.
it's just like, man, I don't even know how to really say it, but just really quickly going back to what you were saying, like, about how the sun could also be supportive for other organisms. I could sure understand if the UFO that was taken there, that, because I'm thinking to myself, the sun, it can't just be supporting 9 planets in our solar system. If there's UFOs that are somehow controlling the sun, that means there's other planets that it's supporting of. And perhaps unlike us, they want to keep the sun going at a particular normal power rate, I guess, because they probably are in their own Goldilocks zone.
The thing about a UFO controlling the sun, thinking about the massive size of it, if they say they think that there's a picture out there with a UFO right by the sun, think about this. Look at what a picture of Mercury against the sun looks like. It's just a little dot.
Yeah.
What's a UFO going to look like? You're not even going to be able to see it.
Right. I'm going to go ahead.
I can say they have a picture of a UFO by the sun. You're not going to see it.
It's a video, actually. It was a NASA video.
This should be interesting.
Oh,
I'm looking
Joanne,
for
that
it right now.
we go to the moon more often than what you think. I know that sounds weird,
Yeah.
but we do. The moon is going to be a stop point. It has to be a stop point and a refuel point to go to Mars.
Refueling. It was refueling the sun. I'm actually going to show one other picture. I think this is not fake. This is an actual photograph. And I got to say again, NASA took it. And this is a really cool photo. This was ironic. You guys are just going to have to see this, because when I saw this, I was blown away from this. Check this out. So look at this. This was taken, ironically enough, a few days before Halloween. What do you guys see right now?
Looks like a pumpkin.
Sunflares.
Wait, sorry, what was that?
Sunflares.
More than that, but what were you saying, Jeremy?
I said pumpkin.
Yeah. You see, it has like the face of a jack-o'-lantern. Like, you got 2 eyes, somewhat of a nose, and a grin. And this was and it wasn't a prank. This is from the NASA website that they actually captured this right before Halloween, and it had this jack-o'-lantern like face to it.
Okay, so with that had to have been an edited picture, because there is no. If the sun had gotten dark like that, we would see it.
It's the type of picture that's taken. What they're doing here, it's almost like a thermal reading of the sun. So they have different ways that they take pictures of the sun to be able to read when the next sun flare is coming up, what the sun's atmosphere is like. If we have this going on, if there's a disruption, they have the black spot that they're watching. But you do it with different types of lenses, we'll say.
What's curious is that there's nothing on top and nothing on the bottom that we can see.
Right. Well, you got to think about, which way do we spin?
Spin clockwise.
Well, we spin around it, right?
Yeah.
So why would there be any? We don't spin this way. I think logical. We don't spin this way. So we're not stirring up crap this way, right? Obviously, something happens with gravity between all the planets because we have things that move through space. So if we have things that move through space, what doesn't say that it's not the sun?
Okay, I'm looking on here.
Moving.
So they can be able to take
Does that make
kind of
sense,
temperature
Nick?
over the course of 27 days because the sun itself rotates on its axis once every 27 days.
Galactus.
So they take pictures of it. So, I mean, if it rotates only one direction, it's not like our winds go from north to south, right?
I
That
think
doesn't make
so.
any sense. So our winds go around in a pattern, and they go around with the way that we spin, the type of season it is, with our gravitational pull. So the sun's going to have the same thing. There'll be nothing on top and nothing on the bottom. And if you do see something on the top or the bottom, and it goes in a different direction, you better, bend over and kiss your butt goodbye,
What's up, Rosie?
Hello.
because then it's like a group. It's like a gear.
Bring that picture back up if you can, Nick.
Yeah, I still got it. Hang on 1 second.
Hey, Rosie.
Actually, I just want to read this. Spokesman from NASA said the active regions of this image appear brighter because those are areas that emit more light and energy.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. All right, hang on.
That's
All right, still got it up.
oh, you.
So here's how I'm looking at it. When let's say you take a wet ball and you start spinning it, all the water is going to go from one spot. That's what this looks like here.
Right. And you got to imagine it's not water. Like Brad said, it's active regions in the area. So obviously the sun might have somewhat of a solid mass. Who says that the sun isn't the core of some other planet, or wasn't the core of some other planet?
Right.
We have a core that's hot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way I look at the sun. So you look at our core and it heats up in certain areas, and that's where Brad said we have to worry about volcanoes. Because we
Super
do.
volcanoes.
You have areas that come up and splurt out. That's basically what's going on here. And the reason why it's in those areas, I do believe, is because of the way that the sun does spin on its axis. And I do believe everything has a pattern and it has everything to do with gravity. And it's pulling everything into the center. Does that make sense?
If
The energy, this, and that's where it's going to flow.
let's go back to the theory. Who's to say that the sun wasn't originally the core of a planet? Can you imagine the
Thank you,
size of that planet?
Brad.
Oh my God, that would have been huge. Probably would have been
What if
bigger
we
than
aren't
Jupiter.
spectacles of that planet?
It probably would have been bigger than Jupiter.
What if we are the
sun is
asteroids
bigger
of that
than
planet?
Jupiter.
Huh?
The sun
if we
is
were the
in the
asteroids?
solar system.
Jupiter has how many moons?
It's got so many moons. Like I remember years ago, they said it was like between like 8 to
kingdom.
6. It was like 8 to 16, but now they said it's like
A whole bunch of planets, moons recently.
that's what I said. I remember like when I was younger, they used to say it was like it had like 16 moons, but now that number is increased to like I think like 30 or 40 of them. It's got so many moons.
Try 95. I just looked it up. It's 95 right now. Known satellites, 95 as of 2023.
95 moons.
Well,
Oh my
Yeah, they
God.
keep adding them. Hey, Brad. All I gotta say is
Radiation.
Z.
Oh, it starts with no bigger than someone's whose name starts with. Well, I don't know who starts with Z. All I can think about is Zelda. That's
think
it.
about it, Nick. Who's got
I
the
mean,
reputation?
you know what? You know what, Jeremy? I have a backpack. Do you have a backpack? Nick has a backpack. I bet you that we can pack our backpacks and we can go take a walk and go on an adventure together.
As a matter of fact, I do have.
And remember your sunglasses.
Oh, every time I
got
go
the
outside.
backpack all ready to go, Jan.
There you go. Because you're the
Oh,
notorious
of course.
NICK.
Of course, zombies. What the hell?
Moons of Jupiter.
Who is getting everyone canceled? What?
Okay, somebody just privately message him. You know what? I have a lot of baggage on my doorstep. And it says it has the letter Z on it.
Oh,
And then
damn it.
oh,
Yep, now he messaged me. He messaged me. That's a new name, Brad. Trash Bagans. That's a good one. I like that. Trash Bagans.
wait, hold on. We can go with the Hobbit on this too, right? Baggins. Oh, Baggins.
Don told me he was on Wheel of Fortune once.
Uh,
What?
He was actually before the
Tell me he
doc-
lost.
Oh my God.
that, but he was actually on Wheel of Fortune back in 2000, 2001. This is
Oh.
before they did the documentary, before he started doing the bodybuilding. He broke it up to
Wow.
get skinny as a rail in that. When he
You
was
know
on
what?
Wait,
Brad, I
Zach
agree.
was? Oh, holy crap.
You see what I mean?
Holy cow, he was young. Oh my
He was
God, I
20
did not
years
expect
ago.
him that way. Holy cow.
Yes. Is there a letter D?
What the hell?
Why, yes, there is
What
a
did
letter D. Spin again. Is there a
What
letter?
did you
Can I
do?
buy a vowel, please? Is
What
there
did
an
you
O?
do to yourself? Oh my God. I did
Yeah.
not expect
How did we
that.
get
Oh,
on this?
that is a
You know,
shock.
I said I was never going to talk about this. I told Adrian I was never going to talk about this. That I couldn't even do it. Like, I can't even just fathom. Like,
Can we throw him into Mount Doom and save the world? Yeah, you know
no,
what? We
Brad.
probably-
I'm going to get him the world's largest air compressor. And then I know exactly where I'm going to stick it. Okay. And I'm going to help him inflate his ego. All right. I mean, I will call everybody because you know he likes attention. I'm just saying. And then,
I didn't even know his sister was part of this too.
well, you know, the Baggins family. In the
I
Hobbit.
really
Yeah.
don't, to be honest with you. I really don't.
You don't know? You've never seen The Hobbit? You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
What's that got to do with them?
It's the Baggins of a good time.
Hey,
This is so much fun.
yeah, it is. It's good to have you back, Jeremy. We missed you.
It's good. I love bagging on people. I'm just saying.
Nick, you guys are doing so well without me. Well, last week.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God! The last. Oh, jeez.
I commend you guys for trying for so long.
Well, and also, not to mention, I accidentally said that. when I accidentally
Yes!
when I actually called Len, you know what?
That
Douchebaggins.
that
Yeah.
douchebaggins is my favorite Hobbit.
That's a
I
Hobbit thing.
love douchebaggins.
Can you imagine that one scene where they were torturing Gollum? They were torturing Gollum, and he was screaming out,
Oh my goodness!
Wait,
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine if he lost? It wouldn't be a ring. It would be his
Hi!
glasses.
Maybe I should do a video edit. Oh my God.
Really quick. Tomorrow is this little girl's birthday.
It is.
Somebody's going to be a full hand.
Awesome. The
Yeah.
big 5.
She's gonna be 5 tomorrow, guys.
Brad said
Oh.
happy birthday. You say thank you?
Thank you.
She just woke up.
Hey, I want to let you in on a little secret here, okay? You're making the rest of us old. Stop it.
Because we are old, huh?
I take
Yeah,
it out.
Yeah, I just started a new decade, so I'm getting old myself.
Everybody say happy birthday. Say thank you. We'll post pictures. We got unicorn cake, and we're gonna have a good time tomorrow at
I
school.
got the Pikachu cupcakes.
Yes. And this
Nice.
one's Pikachu.
Wait. It already made me feel old. She's 10 like that. That's the only two. Everyone keeps claiming I'm 10.
All right, you tell everybody, say see you later. All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
You know, I actually wanted to say one other. What's
I
that?
don't get the reference.
What, this?
Yeah.
Pika Pika? That's a reference to that's a reference to Pikachu from Pokemon.
Is it?
Pika Pika.
Yep. See, that's exactly how she pronounced it. And that, as a 90s kid, I grew up with that, so I know exactly what she means by that.
Yeah, I never did.
I play
Pikachu.
Pokemon Go.
Rosie, I think you meant to say Pikachu. Pikachu. There we go.
I still play Pokemon Go. I love Pokemon Go. I find the coolest Pokestops, and we learn the coolest history facts. It's just such a fun thing that I've done with the kids since the day the game came out.
I remember when that first came out, people started finding bodies everywhere.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah. It was
Yes.
everywhere. And
So the game did come up with something good, but still,
Holy
can
cow.
you imagine? Can you imagine what is going through these people's mind when they're going through wherever and they're trying to find a Pikachu? Instead, they find, oh shit, there's a dead body.
A Pichu.
A Pikachu.
Yeah.
As Rosie pronounced it.
I was confused too. I had never heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, that's they've been doing that since the beginning when they first started with Pokemon. That was back like 1996. It was 96 they started. Holy cow, it was almost 30 years ago already.
I'm old. Yeah.
It was
I
only
never got into it. The only thing I've ever seen is the movie that came out with Ryan.
Detective
2000, I
Pikachu?
think.
It was,
What?
Detective Pikachu.
yeah, but it wasn't called. It had another name to it.
The first movie? Was that the one?
There's
the
only
first
one
movie.
The live action movie that they made.
Oh, that
Detective-
one. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. Does anybody remember Pogs?
What's the name?
No, I don't remember that one.
Jeremy, do you remember Pogs, the game? You had the slammer and you had the little card and you had to flip.
Oh, wait. No, I do remember. I take that back. I do remember. I was lying.
I found my Pogs the other day and my Chinese jump rope, and I was like, yes.
You know,
and I
one
have my
thing-
slammers still.
Well, you know, one other thing I can remember too, and this also was an association with Pokemon, was they made these back in the late 90s, and I still remember when these came out. I still remember 25 years later that I really wanted them, and we did get them, but they were like they were kind of like a virtual pet almost, in this case with Pikachu in it. And I actually recently found the commercials for those on YouTube. Thank God for YouTube for archiving. But what was so crazy was, you know, how common they were back then in like 1999. And like, they were like, you try getting them now, they're so scarce. And back then they were like, I don't know, like $3-4 to purchase. You try getting them now, they're like $500 for a mid version of it. I was like, holy cow, how the hell did how the hell did it get that high?
Does anybody remember those pets that you could have? Those like little pets that you had to feed, like the first version of it? Like you were in class and you were like,
Yeah, you were secretly using them in class. I remember some of my friends were doing that back then.
yeah.
In my school, they would
Tamagotchis.
play, some role playing game, not Dungeons and Dragons, but something else.
That was
Yeah,
like
Kind of role playing.
that was like the pre like cell phone texting era before everybody started texting in class.
See, my kids still play Dungeons and Dragons. In fact, when Derek was here this past week, I brought him straight down to the comic book store downtown, and we were looking at Dungeons and Dragons, and we were having a good time. He bought a couple of books. We got a Dragon expansion book, which I didn't get to look at, which I really wanted to look at.
Oh, you know what?
I'm triggered. I'm triggered about this. I got to call the 17-year-old. He has to read the book to me now.
Cloak and Dagger might have been it, Sean.
Yep, that's the one I was gonna say was Cloak and Dagger. I know that there was one other one.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think that one's the one.
Brad, what I'm talking about is I just found actually one of the videos. They just call it a Pokemon Pikachu. I'll have to find a link to see a picture if I could find it for you. But that's all they call it. It was just the Pikachu toy or whatever. It was supported by Nintendo though. But I don't know what they were actually called though. It doesn't say.
Brad, I tell you what, you could probably make a ton of money doing that. I tell you what, you go onto some of these craft sites that they have, and you look up some of the things that they have for D&D. It is amazing. I'm always like, hey, Jesse, we need to make this. I don't have the kids to play anymore. But it's really cool stuff.
Yeah,
I want to make the kids and send to the kids. Like, oh man.
I'm just
you can build your own characters now. You can go onto a website and you can build your own D&D character to your specifications.
I'm sorry. I'm just kind of laughing right now, like just trying to figure out how the hell do we end up going from like talking to Mars to Pokemon to this?
Right? Can you imagine the Pokemon Go stops on Mars? Like all of a sudden I get there and it's like, here's your Frostlass. And I'm like, really?
Oh, that would be
Can you imagine if you
you've made
used your
it to
Pokemon
Mars.
Can you imagine if you used your Pokemon Go on Mars and it actually tracked something on it?
Right? All of a sudden you're like, is that a Mudkip?
Yeah.
What? What is that? Did I just see a pet rat? No way. I did.
Well, what I would be really interested in seeing is right now the way that they have it with Google Earth, how you can able to find everything, and things have actually been discovered because of Google Earth. So imagine if they did something called Google Mars.
They actually were, they actually were attempting to do something like that on, I think you have the same app I do, Jeremy, because I remember you sent a screenshot. The My Radar app, which I use like to get messages about any weather alerts. If you go on My Radar,
I have been finding lately that thing is not as reliable as it used to be.
Really?
Because I would look at the My Radar app, and then I would go to the weatherchannel.com and look up my city there, and it'd be completely different.
Really?
I tell you what.
It would turn out to be the Weather Channel's forecast that would come true more so than My Radar.
Oh, wow.
If you put Google Mars up, do you
say-
know the first thing you're going to see?
I'm looking
Jen
at
and
it.
I. Yep. You do your Google Mars like you do your Google Earth. You're going to scan over it. And the first thing you're going to see is Jen and I making Mars angels. And it's going to be, we're going to have the middle finger up and it's going to be blurred.
I wonder if Jen's still watching, hearing this.
She will. She's probably like, I know she's talking about me. I feel her talking about me. Then she'll be right back. I swear she pops right up.
Oh, this is so cool. I'm looking at it right now, Google Mars. There's 3 different ways you can look at it. Elevation. And well, let me.
You see Jen and I on every level.
I'm going to see here. No, not that one.
We've imprinted all the way through.
Yeah, just like copied and paste like all sides of the face of Mars.
So
Yeah.
Copy
take a
paste.
look.
Copy paste.
So this year is Google Mars
There's Jen and I, see? Right there.
right there.
Right there in the center, dead set.
I told you.
There
Told
they
you
are.
right there.
Off.
We made history.
When you look,
They blurred us. Did you see? What the hell?
when you
Oh,
look
well,
at this
you
is
know what?
not completely dissimilar from Google Earth.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
You know why they blurred it out, by the way, Jen? The
Well,
government.
probably because we were naked.
I am still not going there.
How do you think we got the cheeks so perfect? Cheeks.
Come on, guys, give us the laughing emoji. Come on, let's see that.
Yeah, seriously, I'm surprised I have not seen that.
Here's another way of looking at this, and then here's infrared.
Whatever.
Yeah,
They blurred
infrared.
us. Right there, see? Them SOBs.
Damn, it's the government.
See, that's the road we took right there through that valley to get to that exact spot, right next to that hot spring. You see that hot spring right there?
Yeah,
We
how,
laid right on
You
top
know-
of that plateau.
Jan,
how
you know what you
do
should do?
you see this as some sort of canal or road or whatever? Just
Yeah, it looks
look-
like a canal.
Here's the eyes and a little
Look.
frown face.
It's drooling. Look, it's sad. It's sad because we left.
Oh God,
It
Brad,
cried me
I
a
know what he's
river. It
doing.
cried me a
No,
river.
This is a true Martian. It's got 3 eyes.
Yeah,
So it cried
What
me a
about-
river when we left.
Crimea River,
there
right,
is.
right into that.
It cried. It was like, where did those beautiful Martian angels go? Just saying.
This
You
is
guys
really
see this
cool.
question, Brad? You guys got to see this question that Brad's got on?
I was
What
actually ignoring that one.
Brad, if I wanted to Google that, I would know where you put your ex-wife.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to say this, by the way, Jen, is that if you guys are the Martian Angels, you know what you guys should do next. You know what you guys should do. However, if they blurt it out, take some pictures of your own and make them into like postcards.
Can I say that we were the first ones there? Can I claim territory if I pee on Mars? Am I marking my territory?
I don't know, but Jeremy, what were you going to say? I saw you were going to say something.
Well, I was going to say that history had just been made. Brad's ex-wife was brought up, and it wasn't Brad who brought her up.
No, it was Brad who put her up there, though.
Yeah,
He shut her up somehow.
probably did.
You know, I kind of miss Adrian and Eileen. It's kind of weird.
Where the hell are they?
I got this room. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like the Brady Bunch sometimes.
I'm actually
Actually-
going to show you guys. Now, here's actually something I think you guys are going to find
Now
interesting.
you
This
got
is-
all kinds of room.
No, I like my.
There you
I know
go.
I need that. No, yeah, there we go.
I'm going to show something else here. This is on the
Pretty
Martian
much.
landscape. Check this out, guys. You guys tell me what you see. This is actually from one of the rovers. What do you guys see here in the background? You see that?
Yeah, I see a tornado.
They're actually Martian dust devils.
Dust devils.
Yeah.
See, I know how to survive there.
How
The dust devils were good.
What were you going to say, Jeremy?
how cool is that?
Yeah, well, it's really cool. However, from what I've heard, is that the Martian dust devils, compared to their earthly counterparts, they're actually said to be far more destructive. They're not as, I mean, like some dust devils here on Earth, they can cause some damage. But most, it's what? Well, what do you?
That's
say?
your ex on her broom,
Well, if you think about it,
or on a Swift or wet jet. She's been
Everything on
good.
Mars is bigger than Earth.
Well, and what I was going to say
Same
was
in
like
Texas.
well, I was going to say like the dust devils here on Earth, they cause some damage, but most of the time they're usually harmless. But the ones here on Mars, I heard, are said to cause more damage. So, pretty cool sight.
Sean, actually, that could probably EF10.
Yeah,
You know what's cool?
Oh yeah.
You know what's
EF10.
really cool? Is like, how do I want to put this? Everything is so untouched that when that dust devil goes by and it leaves that path, how long does that path stay there for?
It makes me wonder.
Something else disturbs it.
Right.
It says here that the Martian dust devils, they were actually first photographed by the Viking orbiters back in the 70s.
70s.
Yeah, well, and furthermore, actually, this kind of already answers what I was saying. Martian dust devils, they can be up to 50 times as wide and 10 times as high as terrestrial dust devils, and large ones may pose a threat to terrestrial technology sent to Mars. November of 2016, 5 such dust devils ranging in heights from 0.5 to 1.9 kilometers were imaged in a single observation by the Mars Orbiter mission in the Martian southern hemisphere.
So,
wow.
I'm looking something up here.
that's why
To go along with what Brad was actually saying when he was talking about Google Uranus. I was looking it up. That was not the original name for it. It was actually called, where is it at? It was actually called Georgium Sidus, otherwise known as George's star, because the guy that discovered it his name is, where is it at? Herschel.
While you're looking that up, I'm going to show one other video that I found on the dust devils on Mars. Check this out. This is an even clearer photo. Look at this.
That's not a dust devil. That's the Roadrunner.
It's
Well,
actually animation compiled from photographs of it.
Somebody's going to say that that's a ghost.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
you know
sure
the
there is.
whole thing is do you see the brightness in the second? It's not do you see how bright it is in the
It's
middle?
almost like
Like-
fire.
Yeah, what it's like. That's what I was gonna say.
Firewalker.
Actually, you know what? I just noticed this. Watch carefully at the final frames. There's a trail that's visible. Look at this. There's a trail following
Hold on.
right here.
Can you play that again?
It's automated. I can't really pause it, unfortunately.
Right there in the background. Another one starts up. Right as it
Yeah,
goes
there
out of
is. There's
frame.
one right over here.
There. Yeah.
And then there's another. There's another one. And then you can see the trail it leaves behind.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Can you find the
Georgium
pyramids?
Sidus was named in honor of King George III in England.
What were you going to say, Jan?
Can you find the pyramids? The 3
Yeah,
points on that match on Earth?
Okay, hang on one second.
I
Oh my God, it's a skinwalker.
hey, that's
I
not
wasn't
nice to
expecting
call
that.
Jen and I that. Maybe that was Jen and I running, okay? You never know, we could have been out for a nice jog. Yeah, just breathe, Brad.
Here we go. I just
We're not
I just
soul
found it.
suckers. Promise.
So is this what you're talking? Okay, this is actually
Yes.
okay. I think I might have found it. Well, I haven't even showed it to you yet.
Right there in the left-hand corner, though. You see the black and white
Oh,
one on the
you got it.
bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. That bottom one, which is just looks like the moon, second one in on the
Jeremy,
bottom. Yeah, we were speed walking.
Jeremy, that's literally what I was about to pull up. It's the same thing on this one too, right here. The pyramids. Oh wait, no, I had it before, but not anymore.
That's a stone
Here we go.
frog.
No, I was on the Google search originally before I clicked on that. It's interesting though. That's an interesting picture. If it was you, that would
See,
Brett. If it was you, that would
See?
be the
We were
Jersey
there.
Devil.
are
I've
completely
seen this
there.
picture
Back
before.
online.
Yeah.
This one here is what got me.
Yeah,
Yes, I
that
remember
one.
this one. The faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
The faces, but the one above it has the okay. Is it Nick or is it you, Jeremy? That's
This is
controlling
me.
this. Okay, scroll back up
It's
to the top one, the second one in. Yep, nope, back down, bottom, all the way at the bottom. That one right there. That's what I'm talking about.
What the hell
That-
is this that just popped up?
And it lines up with the pyramid. I think it lines up with each one of the pyramids. Each one of the big pyramids. There you go. There's the whole picture.
I
Yeah,
didn't
all
realize
these different
it was
pyramids.
close to the face on Mars. But they have a more recent picture of the face on Mars, and it's been kind of faded away.
Yeah, I'm more. I like I like the. Yeah, pyramids.
Now with this kind of a picture, we don't know how high up that actually is
No,
because
it has to be
Yes.
large.
well, there's a mountain. I don't think it's Mars though. I want to say Europa, but there's
Europa.
a mountain that is like 20 times higher than Mount Everest is.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was. Oh man, I remember here. There was. Let me look that up.
You know, we have to remember too what people here on Earth have seen, and we have to remember when they started sketching everything into caves and walls, and they built the pyramids and all of that stuff. You know, we tend to think that it took thousands and thousands of years, but it was really a short time period. When you truly think about history, right?
I like that name, Sean. Martin Martian.
Martin Martian.
Wait.
I'll ask
what?
Mark.
I like
I'll
that.
ask Mark.
I like
March.
that name.
What was I saying?
You know what?
But we
While
were
you're thinking
closer.
that, Jan.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. This looks like a more recent.
Jeremy, the mountain you were talking about that was twice as high as Mount Everest, that actually is Olympus Mons, and that's on Mars.
It is on
Mhm.
Mars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is on Mars. It's actually a shield volcano.
So we have to remember that maybe our ancestors saw this. We know that they saw it clearer than what we saw. We know that everything looked closer. You know, because we were more than likely closer to everything. Look at how well they detailed the stars. They didn't have
Martian.
carbon monoxide and dioxide and all of these gases in the air and our ozone, so they could see everything. They didn't have light. So I wonder if sometimes they didn't build to mimic things too. Like, what if they built the pyramid to mimic the
Here's
mountain on Mars?
That one, I like this one.
Got proof right there.
Yeah, you know,
Right there.
I often wonder something about when we eventually colonize Mars. And I asked my mom this a couple years ago, which was, you know, for those who are born on Mars, like I often wonder, are they actually considered extraterrestrials because they're not of Earth? I don't know if I'd, of course, my mom said, I don't know if you consider them extraterrestrial, but they would definitely be called Martians.
It's official. They would be called Martians.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like we're called Earthlings.
Yeah. I
Some
got
of
one
us are.
final actually I got one final picture. I found a colorized photo of one of the Dust Devils, by the way. This was
No way,
one of the
did you?
photos. So now you can see it in color. This actually looks still blurry, but still you can actually see
How
the color.
fast do you think that is going?
It's got to be going really fast because they say they're larger and they're faster.
Yeah, it says that I'm reading this, that it shows clearly that air pressure increases at the end of the day, and the total radiation dose record of the surface decreases. So it's just like a tornado here. It's just like everything here, hot and cold.
Yeah.
Pressures and systems and weather patterns. So that means it has to have more of an atmosphere than what we think.
Yeah.
It has to, in order to sustain that. We don't even get that on the moon. I mean,
Well, even so, just a picture of the different color of the sun from the Mars shows us there is an atmosphere because that's different gases there.
I wonder if it's just not further out.
From Mars,
Like, I wonder, you know how our ozone layer and our atmosphere is all kind of close to Earth?
Yeah.
It's kind of like knit tuck, nice and tight. I wonder if Mars isn't just more
like further out, that
further out.
Possibly.
which could also explain why the atmosphere itself isn't exactly livable.
Right.
Because
I do.
if Mars was completely open to the element, no atmosphere at all, it'd be a hell of a lot colder than what it is now.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So there is an atmosphere on Mars.
Like the gases trap and hold the heat, which is what would cause gases have molecules, right?
I think so.
Well, everything has an atom.
Certain ones would have to, yeah.
It would
Because
speed up.
technically, oxygen's a gas.
Yeah,
Right.
it is.
So you have atoms, you have something that makes up everything, right?
Yeah.
Correct? So if it's hotter, then it would move faster. If it's colder, it would move slower.
I
You
just
know,
found
logically thinking,
something interesting.
unless it's
You know-
different types of gases.
Take a look at this. These are towers on Mars.
Those are towers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the shadow.
Wow.
It looks like a you know what.
yeah.
It looks like a fun guy. That's all I'm gonna say. Brad, see, you're already there.
Yeah, Brad's still here, I'm sure.
You know, I actually
don't know.
first
Has
thought it
anybody
was-
seen him lately?
I actually
That-
first thought it was like a tree stump.
Right, sticking out of the ground like somebody got buried upside
Yeah,
down.
kind of like this almost in a way. But I also first thought they were like some type of tree trunks.
It looks like it could have been life. Look at, I mean, how much crap has blown over it over the years.
Dust.
Yeah. I mean, you leave your
Well,
car out.
there you go. This is the Martian equivalent of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Pisa's about right.
So, you know, there's one thing I always notice, by the way, with Mars. Like, it's often referred to all the time as like the red planet.
Oh, that's the game.
It's just like there's just times where Mars sometimes doesn't even really look fully red. It actually has more like an orangish color than red.
Take a look at this one here.
Oh wow.
This
Check that
does
out.
look like a face.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder
Yeah.
if we weren't able to see and mimic what was on other planets and put it on Mars. What if we were just mimics? Sorry.
It doesn't ever occur though that Mars is not really that red as they supposedly say it is.
Well, you know what? We have we have what? Red air in Iraq. It's dirt. It blows around. That's all it is. It's
And I remember
different sand.
seeing something about this where they said that there was a doorway, what looks like a doorway. This actually looks like one of those things that was found in South America. That's like a doorway in the mountains.
Stargate.
Yeah.
I believe Stargate was onto something.
Oh, I think so too.
Yeah.
I truly do. We have doorways everywhere on this earth that we can't explain.
Well, this particular doorway that was found, Belize maybe, that there was a legend where somebody walked into that doorway, and there's nowhere you can go. It's just carved in like 2 feet, somebody walked in there, stood there, and then they just vanished. That's the
Wow.
story. Yeah.
It's Mountaineer
This
is Stairway to the Gods or Gateway to the Gods? Doorway to the Gods. What?
And this is in Belize.
Gateway to the Gods. So if you look at Mountaineer, New Mexico, the Indians here call that the gateway to the gods. And they have what is supposed to be a pathway and a doorway there. There's more than one here in New Mexico.
That's the one.
Yeah. That's
In
the
Peru.
gateway
Yep, that's the
gateway
one.
to the gods in Peru. And then there's one here in New Mexico. And then there's two here in New Mexico. I know that there's one in Utah. I do believe there's one in Arizona, and there's probably ones that we haven't discovered.
It's probably one for like every geographic area.
Probably.
Right.
Now take
More
a look.
than one.
You can tell this is intentionally carved in.
Carved out.
Yeah. That there's nothing natural about it because it's got those perfect angles.
All I have to say is, do you see the color of the stone?
Well,
It's kind of reddish.
what gets me are these lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, the up and down lines and the it's like a door inside of a door.
Yeah, it does.
It
It looks like a
of-
key.
Jeremy, that kind of already reminds you a little bit about that Dorsey from Killer
Actually-
Clowns.
No, this entire thing was carved in. Look, you can see the lip. So this was not the original side of the mountain or cliff or whatever it is. This entire
You need a
thing
bath.
again.
Sorry. I just smelled her. Her hair smells like dirt. She was playing hard today. It's like, whew.
And look up here. It looks circular up here and more square over here. So
Yeah.
all of this is carved in.
Not
And then
sure. Who is
they
this
caught-
Facebook user?
Hello.
We're not sure who you are, but hi there.
Well, say hi. Yes, we're hungry. We're spinning. I was so excited. Were we going to win?
Oh, it's Sam. Hey, Sam.
Yeah. So this
Yes, yeah.
entire thing was carved in.
Well, you know that they're finding a lot of these mountains that look like mountains are not mountains, that they're actually pyramids.
Right. Yeah.
And
It's
the architect or
Yeah, it's
the
just so
archaeologist.
overgrown with vegetation.
You're
Right.
Doing great, Sam.
And the archaeologist
actually a
is being
story.
ridiculed.
There was actually a story where somebody was using Google Earth and they were going through all the ley lines and the connections, and they found that at each one of these spots there's like a pyramid there at every one of these crosses. And he looked in this one spot, Central America, I think it is, that there should be a pyramid there, but you don't see it because of all the vegetation, the jungle and everything. But when somebody actually went there, they discovered that there is a pyramid there.
There's an archaeologist, and he is being ridiculed. And he's going back and he's saying, I can tell you that civilization's been on Earth a lot longer than what you say it has been. Let me show you. And he's going through these pyramids, and what he's finding is that each layer represents a different, say, generation. You know, every so often they had to build and they had to do this and they added. So when you go into these pyramids that look like mountains, you can actually see stones carved out, and you can see it laid out the way it's supposed to be. And you can see where people, if you cleared the vegetation away, kind of like, you know, drain the ocean, and you clear the vegetation and you use that computer program, you can see the perfect layout of of everything just worn away by time. So who's to say we haven't been using pyramids on ley lines for energy? We can prove that. There's theories about how pyramids were built, with energy. There's theories about how, they just tapped it, it collapsed in and married each other. There's theories that, each top of the pyramid can connect with each other, and it was a way of communication. Pyramids represent something, and they tell a story. But ley lines are very interesting, and I do believe that we will always find pyramids on ley lines. And I think it was our way of traveling.
Didn't you guys say that the Masonic Temple in Salina is right on a ley line?
Yep. If you follow, it's almost directly dead set in the center of the United States too. I think it's like 20 miles off of being dead center. And I think that's only because things have moved. So Salina is directly almost in the center of the United States. It sits on a ley line, but so do most churches that are big, and so do most Masonic temples.
Kind of like the Oracle.
Anything paganistic, anything to do with Judaism, anything to do with anything of that nature lies on a ley line, because we can prove that ley lines have energy, and if we can just tap into it. Can you imagine if you knew how to work with energy and you could just hit record?
Yeah.
And you have residual energy.
Right.
And this is something Jen and I were talking about with mediumship, and where mediumship is so much different than paranormal investigating. As a medium, I go in, and if I come into a building and it's on a ley line and I lay down and I connect to it, every residual energy that's in there can replay. And it's just what I'm going to pick up on. But if something's been done at a specific time for how many years, over and over and over and over again, like church always happens at 9 a.m. This Masonic ritual always happens at 10 p.m. This always happens on this day at this day. You can literally record into the earth and have residual energy. And if you hit it at the same time and the right time, you can read into that energy, and it's like a tape recorder. And they've proven it with limestone. They've proven it with ley lines. They've proven it with marble. They've proven it with water. They've proved it all over that you can do this. And this is where paranormal investigation has taken us and has proven. Have you guys seen the series Ghost Mine?
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It's been a number of years, but I've seen it. Yeah.
That is my favorite. I love watching Kristen because she explains that.
You were talking about taking me to one of those locations in Oregon one time.
Yep, and that's one of them. It lays on ley lines, and it lays on quartz, and it lays on this huge mining area, and they disturbed something, and they have Masonic roots there. There's you want to talk about history? I love Ghost Mine because they talked about the Chinese being enslaved there. And they showed how Chinese weren't buried properly or brought back to their country like they believed. They proved, in my mind, in my heart, that there is definitely something there. And I've been in that area, and I can tell you, it's just, it's very strange.
Nothing yet, Sam.
Very off. I would really love to go back there again. And now, being who I am, and how far advanced I've come, I would love to go back and try to read the energy again and see what I can figure out with inside of myself.
Jeremy, I think Sam's still trying to figure out how she can get herself out of Facebook user.
Just go to StreamYard.com/Facebook.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to do it. Or come to the network page.
Mort, thank you. I'll let her know. And you have a great night and be safe.
Yeah. Take care, Mort.
Sean, look it up. See if it is. But look at some of where the major Catholic churches are. I forget what Jews call them. They don't call them churches. They call them
Monasteries?
Is that what they are?
Or abbeys? Or abbeys?
Abbeys. You look at Masonic temples. the major Masonic temples. I'm not talking about the ones that are just in every town. I'm talking about the big ones, like in Solana, the big ones in England, the big ones across the world, you know.
Temples or synagogue?
Synagogues. Thank you.
Okay.
I couldn't think of it. I couldn't think of the word shaman the other day. Saying medicine man. I'm like, it's not medicine man. What is it? Shaman. I'm a grandma. Please forgive me. My memory tends to. But I do believe that these things are definitely interconnected. I really,
believe so,
really, really
too.
do. They wouldn't have done it for no reason.
Yeah.
Just like I look at every religion, I look at every story. Everybody talks about a resurrection. The mummies
Yeah.
are there for a resurrection. You know, we're seeing real life zombies now, so we're there on that end.
And shit, what was I going to say?
Yeah, you got that. Thank you, Jeremy. No, every religion has a resurrection and they've prepared for it. So then you turn around and you think, did they do it on ley lines because that's how they're going to come back?
Yep. Here we go. There we go, Sam. Now we can see you. Awesome.
Hi, Sam.
She might have gone over to the network page now.
Yeah. There we go.
Brad, they had to have, and they had to have. I do believe that we have grown stupider in our human race. The more that we depend on technology,
That's what
and we don't have our sticks and
That's the
stones.
truth.
we as a human race have grown stupid. I firmly believe
How that we are not that old? How the hell do we not know how those hydroglyphs or those petroglyphs got there? How the hell do we not know what Easter Island is? We are not that old as a species.
Well,
Let's get real, people.
And here's the thing. We have also gotten bad in our engineering.
Yep.
Look at the roads that we have today. Potholes galore. The road that they
Arnold
made
Schwarzenegger's filling
10,000 years ago is still perfect.
Terminators out there terminating, potholes. But I can walk a street in ancient Rome that Caesar built with sticks and stones, and it's perfectly great.
But to be fair, back then they didn't have 10,000-pound vehicles either.
Nope.
No, back then they didn't have clothes either. They were born with minimum clothing and they got more done.
True.
Skinwalker Ranch is back on this. Are you talking about the show Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes, it is. Skinwalker Ranch is interesting. I do believe that's one of those places that there is something underneath there. There is some sort of energy pull. There's something. You don't dig because there's radiation. Well, there shouldn't be that much radiation in that area.
So that begs the question: what about ley lines on Mars?
Yeah, good question.
I bet you every planet has a ley line. Every planet has its own energy source. Every planet has to have its own balancing system.
Even the gas giants, because like the gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, they don't have any solid ground.
That doesn't mean that you don't have patterns. A ley line is a pattern.
True.
So, I mean, if you sit there and you constantly have an electrical current going through one section, that instantly creates a ley line. That's the way I see ley lines.
I would have originally thought, just thinking of this, like a planet like Saturn with the rings that it has around it. How do we know if that can act as somewhat of a ley line of some sort? Because those rings are made out of, aren't they made out of rock? I thought they were made out of some kind of material. Yeah.
Ice.
How do we not know? Yeah, ice. Rock and ice. How did we not know the rings around
Neptune.
Saturn could be a ley line?
Neptune has rings, and they're made of gas and ice. And the whole thing with Pluto. Pluto is a planet.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
I grew up with it being I grew up with it as a planet.
Right, and it's a planet. Okay, because you know what? I don't use please excuse my dear Aunt Sally for nothing, but I remember that Pluto's a planet. So just everybody can bite me. Pluto's interesting. I want to know more about Pluto.
If Jupiter has any kind of core of solid material. So they still don't know about that one.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm with you on it too, Sam.
School lied to me enough, like I said.
Jupiter also has rings too. I just realized when you think about it. So maybe it's much more thinner, but still makes
Where
you
the
wonder.
hell are all the moons coming from?
Asteroid belt, maybe.
Like, is Jupiter just going to take over the world? Like, is Jupiter just going to take over the galaxy? Jupiter's like, you know what? I'm building my moon army. Bring it. And Saturn's like, you know what? I got mine.
Jupiter is actually keeping the larger asteroids from hitting us.
Away.
Yeah.
It's like a magnet. I want to say, I feel like it's a magnet. Like, it keeps us centered.
It's
like
like
every planet has
our guardian.
And it's not far from the asteroid belt, so I'm sure a number of them probably come from the asteroid belt.
That's actually very good. Yeah, I think you might be right on that.
You got your strays that stray off.
Yeah.
Heard that our moon was a piece of Mars from an asteroid hit.
Yeah, we were talking about that. But I believe that there were two moons. I will always believe that there are two moons. For some reason, I'm like dead set that there had to have been two moons. Every other planet, like you said, it just makes sense. And the way our planet spins, it's almost like it's off balance, like it's off orbit. And people don't believe me, but our planet doesn't spin perfect. It literally has to.
Well, that's the same thing too. Like I said earlier about Venus. It's probably the same thing too. Like with Venus, like I mentioned earlier, because it's the only planet that rotates the opposite direction. So it kind of makes you wonder if
was that our moon.
It's not a moon, but no. What I was going to say was that would it rotate in a similar fashion to like how Earth would? Because people always think it's like rotating counterclockwise, but kind of like with the way you say kind of wobbling. Like, what if it's the same thing for like Venus or Mars?
Look at Jeremy. He's over here doing some research on something.
I'm actually that was completely unrelated. That just kind of caught my attention. Completely unrelated to the topic.
So
can you imagine? What if we were able to planet hop back in the day?
Planet hop?
Yeah. What if we had life on Mars and Earth?
Be nice. Although I heard that the trip back between both planets would sure as hell be able. Because from what I've heard is that it's about a 6 to 7 month. It's about a 6 to 7 month journey to get from Earth to Mars and vice versa.
There is a short story that Stephen King wrote back in the 70s called The Jaunt.
Yep.
Jaunt.
I've heard of that story.
And to this day, it is my favorite short story of his.
It sticks. That one sticks in my head.
Yeah, this one is intense. So what it is that they had found a device in Antarctica, I think it was. But they found this device, and it is actually a doorway to a specific spot on Mars, and you could be able to travel back and forth. But the thing is, you have to be unconscious to be able to make the travel, because if you are conscious, you are going to go mad and insane. And this family that was going through in the story, the young boy decided, I really want to see what it's like. So he tricked the people that were administering a pill or whatever it was for them to go to sleep. And he was conscious the whole time. And as soon as they get over there, he starts going insane. And it's just, and they're actually working on an adaptation of this short story, which I have been waiting for years.
I want to point out that, do you know that Stephen King writes all of his books based on his dreams?
Yeah,
I have
does that a lot. I've heard about that.
And let's think about certain things. Have you read The Dark Half?
I
have
haven't-
not
My
for that
favorite
one.
book.
haven't
Not
read
that
it,
one.
I've seen the movie, but I know
Okay. You got to read the book. Look at Dreamcatcher. Look at Tommy Knockers. Look at
Oh,
look at
Tommy Knockers.
I mean, seriously, you okay. I know this sounds really crazy. Go back, read Tommy Rockers, and then go watch Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
I am currently in the middle of Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
I just think his alien ones are really interesting. Hearts of Atlantis.
You know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to send this to you
Heart
guys.
Hearts of Atlantis is not an alien. That one is tied in heavily with the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, but it's the way he processes. It's the way where does he come up with this? He has to have a connection to aliens. He
He-
really does. He is an alien. Stephen King is an alien.
He calls himself an intuitive writer.
He
So
does.
what he does is that he goes in with an idea and starts writing, and then he lets what pops in his head. He lets the story dictate what he's going to write down, and that is actually the method that I have been going with the stories that I'm writing, except for specific ones.
Hands down, favorite book has to be The Stand. Turned into a movie. That was pretty good.
Don, he
I
loves
know-
The Stand. He loves that
Are
movie.
you talking about the 90s one or the current, the more recent series?
90s.
Okay.
90s. I remember when it came out. Remember, it came out in 3 stages, and we had to watch it. And it was or 4. It was all broken up. Well, I watched the last 2 because it was recorded on what we call VHS. Those things back in the day. And
I have a working VCR right next to me.
oh, so do I. And you had to set the recorder, for the time, and then you still stood there to make sure
Yep.
that it was recording.
And sometimes you also had to test it out to make sure that it worked properly.
Right. And the first thing you would do is put in your, child's performance tape that really embarrassed you, but you brought it and you showed them that you videotaped it. You're really proud of them. And then like, oh no, this is more important. The Stand. No, the concept of The Stand is a really
Scratch.
cool.
No, Sam, they didn't
idea.
scratch, but sometimes they would snap apart. So there is that.
If anyone's an alien, Stephen King would qualify.
What? Right? And Stephen Hawking's. Cher is definitely an alien.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Madonna is just plastic now. Don't get her too close to a fire. She might melt. Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire, but that witch might melt.
She is. I couldn't believe it.
It?
I think about
Shoved into one.
about the Madonna that came out in the 80s, and then how she
was a virgin.
transformed in the 90s, and then around 2000 is where I thought she looked her best.
Yeah.
Around 2000.
James, she has to be hollow, baby. They had to blow all of that out to make the plastic mold she is now. I mean, come on.
And here's the thing. She's doing all of these things to herself. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you didn't have a fucking nose.
I know.
That's understandable. The bitch could still smell. Your face exploded. What did she do? Cocaine?
Which, by the way, now, so this side is a little more flat. It's still out a little bit, but it's not.
Baby, you look handsome. Madonna looks like Barbie hit the barbecue grill.
Yeah, she does. She does.
Jeremy, you look great. Don't call her plastic surgeon. She paid millions. She paid millions to look like that. And
I'm paying zero.
that's right. And you look good, baby. You
I'm-
look good. Okay. And I'm waiting for the beard to come back. I'm waiting.
It's yeah. Well, I shaved it all off because they were going to be cutting down here to begin with. So I decided to just go ahead and shave it all off. That way they didn't have to worry about doing anything.
I can't do it for very much longer. It's just a substitution for yours.
So are
Hey,
you
Ernie's in the house. What's up, Ernie?
soda?
Never
Are you
thought Madonna was pretty.
sodas? So
Ernie, here's the thing: is she went from being a virgin to literally being a material girl. She told us what she was gonna do. Okay, right then and there.
Matthew McConaughey is beginning to look odd as well.
You know what? I signed up for his seminary. I signed up for his deal. I saw that advertisement on Facebook and I was like, you know what, Matthew? I hear you. I want to hear what you have to say. Like, I am super pumped to see what he's going to put out there because it's so against everything that's going on. You know, we sit here, we laugh about Madonna, and let's look at every single performance in the last 6 months has been a satanic ritual. And I can go back and I can pull up the video and I can show you from the red, from the dresses, from this, from that. I don't give what anybody says. You can't bullshit a bullshitter. Okay. Let's get real. So I think it's interesting that Matthew McConaughey is coming out now with something completely different. Kirk Cameron
Kirk Cameron.
he's going out and he's doing something completely different. I think it's weird. See, as a medium, I like to see the way that the energy plays out because I already know in my heart what's out there. So, at least I believe I know. I have faith. It doesn't matter what I believe. I have faith.
As far as Matthew McConaughey goes, the last thing that I seen him in anything is The Dark Tower, and he looks skinny as hell in that.
Oh, hell no, you should see him. You need to go check out.
Hey,
Anybody
Joe.
who is watching right
Hey,
now,
Joe.
you guys need to go. If you want something like happy-go-lucky and full of positivity, go check out Matthew McConaughey's seminar that he's doing with a whole bunch of people. It's on April 24th. And I know it's weird. I'm promoting something that I'm going to be attending that I'm not getting paid to do this or nothing. I just believe in it. I truly, truly believe in it. I believe that we need more positivity messages out there. Cyndi Lauper's another one.
Yeah, well, she said even when she looked like she and Cyndi Lauper, they shot to the same goodwill.
I haven't seen Cyndi Lauper in years.
Girls
Neither
just
have
want to
I.
have fun. Girls just want to have fun. Okay. They stayed out all night. I mean, I don't know what they did, who bet who on what, but maybe their daddy should have spanked them a little bit harder and put them in the corner and told them, no, that doesn't look good.
They did some really crazy shit back then.
But she's doing some really crazy shit right now. They all are. They're all.
Doing
Well,
great,
Jay-
Joe.
Sorry, I'm going off on my Madonna, Cyndi Lauper. You know, I love Cher. I do believe in life after love. And Cher will outlast cockroaches. It's been proven. You know, if nuclear war were to happen right here, right now, what we would have afterwards would be cockroaches and Cher and Twinkies.
And Nick, you
no.
thought you could do the whole show without one of them being brought up.
Oh, come on!
What? Cher, Twinkies,
No, the cockroaches.
or cockroaches? La cockroach? I got la cockroach. I live here in New Mexico, and we have la cockroach all night. They go crazy, loco, all over. The sun go down, they pour out.
When are you guys planning on moving?
Hopefully soon. To get away from the last cockroaches. Las cucarachas. I turned on the cabinet the other night. Hey.
I'm just so
Opened
glad
it
that
up, turned on the light. It was bad.
I'm just
It
gonna
was
say
bad.
this
I
right now.
yelled, Yessie, we got las cucarachas.
Then the toaster starts mocking you.
And then the toaster.
You know, I'm just gonna say right now, I am so
Oh,
glad
good. Here
Brad's
she
not
comes.
on right now
Mama,
watching
are you okay?
this.
No, we said cockroaches, and she's like, "What? Where are they?" No.
Again, I'm just so glad Brad is not on right now hearing this.
I got to tell you what I did. Speaking of cockroaches, you know that the Easter Bunny came by the house, right?
Yeah.
And brought
Oh, damn
my
it. Damn it.
17-year-old this robotic cockroach. Now, my ex-husband has just had surgery on his ankle, and he hates cockroaches.
Take care,
I
Ernie.
bought my
Have a good
kid
night.
this robotic cockroach that hisses,
Oh no!
and it's cute.
No!
And I told my 17-year-old that about exactly 3 to 4 days after returning from New Mexico, Las Cucarachas should go, crawling across the floor, because your dad knows that it takes 4 days for that egg to hatch and being transferred, right? He goes, Mom, I'm gonna wait until Dad's recovered. I'm like, no, that's not fun.
Yeah,
Like,
Sean.
he needs to jump up out of his chair screaming that there's a fake cockroach running across the floor and grabbing his crutches. And you need to video record this. I want to see him flip over that chair in a cast.
Where did all these people come from?
Oh,
Than we did an hour ago.
Their mama, maybe they came from work. Maybe the grocery store. I don't know. Where is Eileen?
yeah, I was wondering where the hell is Eileen?
She's holding up something. She's leaning up against something. You know, Eileen?
See, Joe said he lived in an apartment years ago where the cockroaches made the toaster dance on the counter. It was that bad. Didn't help that his brother fed them beer. Jeez. That is just... Oh, my God.
That sounds like a Stephen King moment.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Hey, it's dead serious. Being from the desert, no matter what you do, you're going to have cockroaches. And the second the sun goes down, they come crawling up from the cracks, and by the hundreds.
Well, be careful because the New York cockroaches carry guns.
I believe
Don't worry. The AI dogs are trained for those cockroaches. I heard they're nonviolent.
I don't know if you consider them. How they not?
They have a
violent
safe.
guns?
They have their safe space. Don't worry.
the book I'm writing now is set in New York City, so maybe I can try to incorporate that in there. But it's not a supernatural book, so
Yeah.
It has to be a gang of cockroaches with personalities. I'm sorry. I'm writing a
this is-
children's book.
This is
Yes,
basically
right.
why I'm so glad I live in this. This is why I'm so glad I live in the suburbs.
This is why I'm moving to Mars. There's no cockroaches. There's no mosquitoes. There's no ants.
Have a good night, James.
There's no flies.
Thanks for tuning in.
Can somebody give me the purpose of a mosquito? Do you know that if you look up the purpose, you want to talk about some, Brad, look up the purpose of a mosquito. None. None. Other than to make your life miserable. Cockroaches have a purpose. Ticks have a purpose. Fleas have a purpose. A mosquito? None. You want to talk about a parasite to this world? Mosquito. And you can't get rid of them.
I know some people like that.
Yeah.
Eileen? They're not here. I have to make
Well, you kind of they don't like him apparently, Joe.
Joe, Eileen and Adrian don't like me either, except for Adrian's kind of, according to some people, permanently bonded to me through this tattoo that I somehow magically put this curse on her. But in truth, what happened is I walked up to her first day I met her and
Remember
told
when
her I
you
was going to
got
pee on her.
I remember when you got that.
Oh man, that was so hilarious.
Oh, he means that
I'm
he doesn't
telling
get.
you.
He said he doesn't get bitten by mosquitoes.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's
carry
nice. Do you want a
malaria.
cookie? Do you want some milk with that? Do you want a piece of cherry pie?
Well, Joe, that just simply means that you're not sweet.
Oh, that's why. It's because he says it smokes too much pot. They get stoned from contact.
That
with
is
chewing pot.
untrue. That is untrue. That is untrue. I will match you. I will match you THC count to THC count. I guarantee mine's higher than yours. Maybe mine's just a better quality than yours because those mosquitoes won't get off of me and they just lay on me with their
He's up
stinger.
there
And
in
me. They're like,
Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's up
He's
in
from
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Joe,
Yeah.
where are you from in Wisconsin?
You probably passed by him when you guys went up there a few months back.
Mom.
I thought that's why they bit her.
Right. Same here. I thought, they can pay for their own THC.
It's a crime.
There's a store right down the street.
for 40 years or more. Wow.
Well,
Well,
that's
Not 40, but
well,
I can't
well,
function.
it. Also
Well,
helps with the pain it feels too.
Yeah, it does.
That's
you
why
know-
I do it.
Yeah, I don't remember where Joe lives, but what I can tell you though, Jen, is that he actually lives like he's in Watertown, which he
So
actually
you're a
lives
border
like about
boy.
two. It's like about 2 months. When he was raised in Madison, but he actually lives that's like 2 hours north of me, so he's not even that
Yeah.
far away from me.
I lived in Waiawega, I lived in Wapaka, I lived in Brilliant, I lived in Green Bay. I have family in Mondovi, all over Wisconsin. My family's from the Midwest, but I grew up here in New Mexico.
Well,
figure that
you
out.
said that part of your family also came from here in Chicago.
Yes, they did. Seriously, Nick, you and I are going to have to sit down, and we're going to have to watch videos together so you can actually see the first World Fair being put up. I love her. She's just singing. My great grandfather took his 8mm camera down there and actually recorded them pulling up the tents for the circus and the fair. Watching the elephants come off and the trains pull in and everything come off the trains. He has the first day that the Chicago Zoo ever opened up on video. And it was back then it was the first zoo in the world to have natural exhibits for their animals.
That's right. That's right.
So their natural habitats, everything else. So I actually have like historic videos of Chicago, Crystal Lake, and a few of those areas that you would probably just go,
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah, I would love to. I just might send it to you because then you're going to hear some of the names that are mentioned in these videos, and you're going to be like, who attended? What? I'm sorry, who? Who did your family?
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, okay,
No,
funny story. Funny story, Nate, my son, told his cousins, that Michael Myers killed great grandma. Went all the way from Crystal Lake, came down here and killed her because she knew his identity.
Mom.
They believed him.
Well, actually, I was going to say, Joe, that we actually do have a town that's called Crystal Lake, but without the camp in it.
There was a Camp Crystal Lake, though. There
Oh,
was
there
back in the day.
was?
There was a camp. Yeah, there was a Camp Crystal Lake. That my great uncle that just passed away was the postmaster for that area for the longest
Really?
time.
Oh, my God.
Mhm.
That is just, wow. I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, Leroy Rossman.
Oh, there's
Leroy and
also
Wilma
one in
Rossman.
Adams. He also brought up there's one in Adams Friendship.
hmm It's a campground.
It's a campground too, yeah. Trying to meet the entire thing. Almost don't wait. What funny video are you talking about, Brad?
Oh boy.
It's me. It's me and Jen making Martian angels and then running on Mars. He got upset that the government blurred us.
I wonder if the government on Mars would be a lot better than the government on Earth.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, Jen
I
and I are
definitely-
running it.
Yeah, I definitely believe it. I wonder if there's some way too if they could somehow make, because you know, like how you said we can make. Wait, what is that? Is NSFW channel?
You can blur it all out. Do you know what would truly happen if Jen and I did that? Behind two crazy friends, there's always the rationale, like, best friend, and that is Adrian. Okay, Adrian would be sitting there, all right, with a cigarette that she's not supposed to be smoking and a beer going, y'all, I ain't doing that. Like, you got me messed up.
I
Maybe.
can absolutely see her.
No. See, the thing is then Jen and I would be like, Adrian, nobody can see us. We're on Mars. Who's gonna see us? Just do it.
A live video.
Just- Right. All of a sudden, she'll put out that cigarette, she'll finish that beer, she'll take her shirt off, and here comes the Mars rover. That's exactly what would happen. Snap.
Be careful, Nick. Don't hurt yourself.
Just don't trip.
Joe, that's the problem is neither Jen, Adrian, or I are rational together. That's the problem. Is you leave the rationale up to Jen and I, it's going to be some crazy stuff.
What happens when
Adrian's
you
just
have
going to have to come along with the ride.
What happens when you have no rational friends or voices, though? As Joe asked.
Joe, I want to take Adrian and Jen on a field trip to Tombstone, Arizona. Nick, Jeremy, you'll appreciate this. And I want to go show them the biggest rose bush in the world. It's a rose tree now. And it's in Tombstone. And then when I show it to them, I'm going to explain to them, see, I told you that the best roses grow out of shit.
Are you guys going to make rose angels?
Hold on, because that rose bush is literally fertilized by like the town's septic tank. And it's the largest rose bush in the world. So I just want to prove to them that, the best roses do grow out of shit.
Well, that also proves that shit makes a lot of things grow.
Yeah.
Well, it just proves that my shit can smell like roses. And if you want to go ahead and feed me all the bullshit in the world, I can make a pretty
They don't
garden.
smell like roses.
Oh, they do. They do. It's the circle of life, baby. And then just think you can eat that rose. Roses are edible. You want some rose tea? Some rose water?
Lady Bates the Rose was planted in 1885. Damn, look at the size of this.
Look at the size of that
Wait,
thing. That
what-
thing that has
what
a
is-
tree trunk.
What is
It
it
is
called?
insane.
What is it called?
It's the Rose Inn. It's in Tombstone. It's the largest Tombstone, Arizona.
The
It's
Rose
huge.
Inn.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm not seeing the.
Look at what
roses,
shit
though.
can grow. Look at what shit can grow. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh my God! Holy cow!
Hi, Rich.
Oh, good night, Rich. Have a good night.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Okay, but not the kind of rose I'm thinking that's edible.
Look at the trellis on this thing. Look at how many times it self-rooted itself. But look at what bullshit can grow. Seriously. If that doesn't make you go, oh my gosh.
Cheers to this person here.
What?
Look at the size of that thing.
That is huge.
This is
It doesn't even look like a rose bush. It looks more like a tree.
It's considered a rose tree now. You can have rose trees. There are rose trees. And this bush turned into a rose tree.
Red root of rose bushes.
It's like a mesquite bush can turn into a mesquite tree.
Man.
That is just nuts.
I want to take the girls there because I think it's so symbolic. As crazy as that sounds, I really think it's symbolic.
So I am guessing that all of this here is to help support it so it doesn't fall down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I figured.
Yep. They make special trellises for it.
Now is this still growing? Is it still growing to this day, or?
And it's still fed by the same septic tank.
Wow.
Hundreds years worth of crap fed that thing. How amazing is that? Seriously, just mind blowing. Like what we can actually, the circle of life.
It makes me wonder if you can do the same thing like on Mars with a rose bush and adding shit to it.
Oh, you could. Honest to God, you could probably do it if you have the right organisms and you create the right atmosphere. I'm sure you can. You can do quite a bit. Nick, you need to watch the Biggest Little Farm on Disney Channel.
I've
The
never
Biggest
seen
Little Farm.
Never heard of that show.
See, there's the name of it, Nick. If you can read it, Lady Bakes Rose.
Okay. Love to see that pot plant that would grow from that idea.
Me too, Joe. Me too.
I mean, that makes me wonder, like, just the amount of shit that's used for certain things. I mean, does that also mean that? I mean, is that where Gorilla Glue comes from too?
Well, probably. Probably. Never mind. I would so get banned. I would so get banned.
I can guarantee you that the people that planted this thing did not intend for it to get like this.
I don't think so either.
Tough toodles, it happens. Shit happens. Oh, poop.
I mean, like I said, that's why I'm thinking, like, maybe Gorilla Glue came from that. Because here's the thing: once they put it into the bottles, it was called glue. But what was it before?
It's amazing what they actually do with our human waste and how they have to disperse it and clean it and stuff like that. You don't think it's used in fertilizer? Psh, literally, one man's shit is another man's gold.
Well,
probably. Well, probably.
You got to pay somebody to take it away.
Well, I mean, it probably would explain again. Just came up with an answer of my own question. It was called glue before that. It was probably called gorilla shit.
That's right. You got that good gorilla?
I would not want anything to do with that.
What's that?
I would not want anything to do with that.
Why? I got this gorilla. I'll sell it to you for $5. It's glue. It sticks to anything. Like me to you.
Just don't use it in your hair. That's all we ask.
Just grow back the beard. Here comes Jesse. Jesse's just laughing as he walks in.
Honestly, I don't know if I would out that far. I don't think I could do it.
Brett, I didn't get.
It doesn't matter how far it goes. It matters the thickness.
Brett, I didn't get anything in Messenger from you because he said he uploaded the video. He wants us to watch it. I haven't got anything yet. Oh, wait, no, I just got it. All right. What the
Damn
hell
it,
is
Brad. It is. It's Jen and I, isn't it? And it's Adrian in the background. I know it is.
Hang on, I'm watching it right now. See what he's.
My phone's
You know,
It's like a 20-second video. Hang on, wait, I gotta rewind.
I will look at it after we're done with the show, which we should start wrapping up here. He's already been on for 2.5 hours.
Well, boys, it was nice
What the
it was nice to go to the outer limits with you
Oh,
guys.
damn it, Brad. Oh, damn.
I would like to say
you're going to have to watch this afterwards.
I'd like to say I miss you, Eileen. I miss you, Adrian. I hope that Adrian has a safe trip. And Eileen, I hope you have a good night. I hope I did you guys proud.
Yeah, Joe, this time you got here kind of halfway this time. He's right on that.
Well-
Yeah, I do like it, Brad.
When did Joe come in?
He got in around, I'm going through the chat right now.
Yeah, I see him. I
About like-
see him. Actually, he came on after the show should have ended.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, thank you for letting me harass you guys tonight.
We had
I
some good
appreciate it.
chats, though. And by the way, when you said about Adrian having a good trip, where is she heading somewhere? Or
Yeah, she's got grandbaby's birthday tomorrow. In Kansas.
Oh,
She's
okay.
tripping over herself. She trips over herself all the time. She packs for it on a daily basis.
Yeah, they are leaving. They are leaving 3 a.m. in the morning here time.
Really?
Yeah. So she's actually probably in bed trying to get some sleep. Brad, she's not heading your way, so you're
She's not-
safe for the moment.
You know, all these birthday celebrations coming up. I mean, I'm just going to say one thing since, your daughter's is tomorrow and then Adrian's. I'm sure one of the activities you guys are going to be doing, that new Angel game must be very fun for you guys. The Dust Angels.
You know what? That's it. I think that I'm talking to Jen. I think we just might go to Mars and do this. It's done. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. Adrian is not driving because she won't pull over to let me pee. But we're going to Mars.
I
Oh, you
think
guys
I've
are
heard that story before.
Ed Gein country this weekend. Really? That's interesting. Up
No.
and Ernie is back and he has alcohol.
We're getting ready to close shop tonight, Ernie.
Yeah, we are. I wish you could have had the alcohol earlier with us.
Just drink to my trip to Mars with Jen and Adrian. We're just gonna have to give her 2 gummies. So shut the fuck up and sit her in the
What a way
So,
to end the show.
Nick, what shows you got coming up here in the next week?
Jen and Adrian go to Mars. Episode 1. It's the pilot season.
Well,
That would be a story, that's for sure.
okay, so excuse me.
Next week they make it there. Your
Well,
turn.
I know I got Frighteners tomorrow with Lois, Ian, and Bryce. I don't remember. Okay, throughout the course of this entire show, I don't even remember what we're going to be talking about now. Damn. So thank you, Jan.
You're welcome.
On the schedule here, it says something about frequency.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah, it was okay. So that's what it was. All right. Well, you were able to give me a reminder in some way.
Yeah, well, I'm looking in the StreamYard now.
Poor Jen. She's completely lost it now.
No, I'm reading Brad's comment, and all I can see is
What is
Adrian
this?
going,
What is
slow down! Slow down! Slow down, you're in the wrong lane!
But anyway,
Jen going, we got this.
But anyways, though, as I was trying to say, I don't. What else do I have coming up? Oh my god. Okay, Frighteners tomorrow. I actually got to get a hold of Don actually right after this because unfortunately I won't be able to do Fear Fans on Friday because I said I wasn't sure because I'm actually heading out with Ava again tomorrow to check out another location. She's actually coming out to my area this time. We're going to check out Robinson Woods, which is obviously a wooded area that's said to have quite the amount of activity. So it'll be. It's been a couple years since I've been there, so it'll be great checking that location out again. And
Well, if you see Christopher Robbins, tell me.
I was thinking Christopher Robbins.
Yep, I was just talking about Winnie the Pooh. If you see Winnie, tell him I miss him.
Okay, well, if I see a guy like Christopher Robin's wearing a Winnie the Pooh mask, that's when I turn the other way and run like a bat out of hell, right?
But
Jeremy?
if you hear, it's a heffalump.
That is
It's a
right
heffalump. Just get a mouse.
Nick.
Huh?
That's right next to the airport.
Yeah, it is. But it's next to the airport, but it's still a few miles away from like actually. Trust me, I've been there. The airplanes don't really like go right over it. Oh, check this out here. What Joe just said. If you need me to help out or co-host or be guest, let me know. I'm not busy yet this year. Doubt it's going to be.
Night, Sam.
I mean, is that something? Would that be something of interest for you, Jeremy?
Huh?
What are you saying, Joe? I'm boring?
Or
No.
even come on and do a show yourself on the network.
Well, the problem is, and I've actually been talking with Joe. I just spoke with him a few days ago, like personally, and he has not been able to do his show as frequently as he was hoping for. And no, he's correct, you chat. He's bored. That's what he's saying, not boring. But his other oh my God, I cannot even talk tonight.
I just saw Jen and I tripping. I'm sorry.
It's been a long night for me already.
Maybe we should just cut the show then.
No,
So that you don't even have to try to think of what you're trying to talk about.
Next, like, I'll hit you all up in group chat. I'm done for the night.
No, he was just saying, okay, I just got it right here. He said that Mark's just been so busy with his work, and understandably, Joe's not been really happy about it. So he might not even be able to do like a lot of investigations or shows for a while. So that's why he's offering, wanting to co-host or be a guest with us.
Okay.
And I did
Sweet.
and I did say in response, I mean, I really would hate to see his show go if that's the case, because I've watched a few of his episodes of the show, and it's really good. Of course, I helped him out myself at one point.
Like I said, if that show just fiddles out, create a new one.
Uh-oh. If you ever need to end a show early, just have me on. I will tank the ratings. We can talk about that later, Brad.
Comments on that one.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. Not.
I don't know, Brad. You did a good job. You ran off the two other females on the show. So, I mean, do you want this spot now?
Oh, yeah. Yep. We forgot. July 32nd, he's supposed to come on.
That's right. It's scheduled.
Yeah, it would be great to still see you doing the Insane Asylum, Joe.
Well,
What time are you on, Joe? I'm so bad with everything. I can't remember what
Yes.
day it is.
his normal show is
Friday
on
nights.
Friday night at
He does a show like what? Like I think.
or 7 Central.
Yeah, I think it's either. Remind me, Joe. Was it 7 or 8 there when I was helping you out? 7 p.m. Okay, yeah, 7 o'clock.
Okay, so that's actually in the same time slot of the 13th Dimension, but I haven't brought 13th Dimension back yet.
Yeah,
Well, if you
Fridays
need
at 7
anybody to help you out with the show, Joe, you just let me know. I can bullshit my way through anything. Literally.
As
I
evident-
got through school and 2 marriages, working on my 3rd. Can definitely bullshit a
Well, like I
bullshitter.
said, I helped him out once too myself with the show, so I had a good time doing it.
Believe it or not, she can actually carry on very intelligent conversations.
Yes, she can.
Again.
Yeah.
I really can.
Did all of that before you showed up.
Just scroll back. Just
Yeah.
when you get to the part about Jen and I on Mars, just skip about 4 minutes and then go back.
But tonight was actually a very, very good conversation because we did talk about Mars a lot. We talked
Yeah.
about the Gateway of the Gods, which is actually something I have been trying to look for a long time. I just didn't know
See,
what it was called and where it was at. I just knew it was somewhere in South America.
yeah, and then there's one here in New Mexico.
Oh my God.
in Mountain Air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like-
so exploring different things other than ghosts is refreshing. to me.
Joe, I don't have a daddy.
Oh my God.
And if you ask me now, I was incubated because the womb donor, je ne sais pas. I don't know what happened. And I'm okay.
I'm okay.
I love me some Manson. Come on, man. Jeremy, geez Louise, before we leave, that's who you remind me of. Do that again. Mick Foley, when you did that. That's it. I'm getting you Mr. Sacco for Christmas, man.
I got plenty of socks up there that I could use for Mr. Sacco.
No, it has to come from my foot. You're getting a Mr. Sacco. Doing it.
So let it be known that on April 13th at roughly 10:38 p.m., I have now been officially associated with Jan's foot.
You're gonna,
Yep.
oh my God.
And then you're going to turn around and you're going to be like, you see this, Mr. Sacco? This foot has graced Mars.
You know,
And it's a Mars angel foot now.
I can see it now. I used to be on Jan's feet. You want to smell?
You want to smell me?
you know, I can already. Can you imagine? Because I didn't even tell you guys this, but I'm actually working on a video right now, like as like an opening credits video, and a lot of what the credits say, it says like in association. It says like in association with this video, in association, associated with this person or this group. Can you imagine if I had to write down in the credits like in association with Jan's foot?
Speaking
Right.
of videos, Nick, I'm still waiting on yours.
Am I the last one?
I'm still
Am I?
waiting on your video.
I know. Am I the last one though? That's what I'm asking.
No, there's still 3 others.
Okay, so
Not me. I'm not
Okay.
on that list this time.
So very quickly, I have got the video shot, but I'm doing some really. I got some tricks up my sleeve for this video because let's just say I'm only going to say this that because
Nick,
again
don't just wait until I get it. Let me surprise you.
Whoa! You
It has my sock in it.
Don't say
Wait a minute.
surprise me. I don't want to suspect anything, okay?
Well, wait a minute. You usually don't care about spoilers.
This time I do. Nick,
Touchy.
you make and the movies.
Okay.
I don't care about the movies. I just watch for entertainment. This is
Okay. All right, then. I'm not saying anything.
The boss has spoken, okay, Nick? The boss has spoken. He's touchy. He needs to eat. Get him some
next
chocolate.
Tuesday on Nick's show. They're going to be doing Friday the 13th. Which didn't you guys already do that one?
No, I was
I know
Nightmare on Elm. It was
The
Nightmare.
series, You guys already did the first one, so wouldn't that mean you'd be doing the second one, or are you just going to go ahead and go back and just do them all?
Don wants to basically do them all individually. He wants to go all the way from part 1 to, I don't know, Jason X. I don't know.
So what are you guys doing?
You never
Fear
seen
Fans.
the other? You never seen
horror.
Fear Fans before?
Oh no! What you? Which show are you guys doing? I
it's
missed
called,
what.
It's called
Right.
Fear Fans. It's on. It's Fear Fans, and it's on Tuesday nights. It's on the same network.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No. What movies?
Friday
Friday
the
the
13th.
Oh. Did you want one with Avelina in it? You know that, like, I went into labor with her on Friday the 13th, right?
Wait, what?
My water broke with her on Friday the 13th. And it was in a snowstorm. Nick, you remember 5 years ago that really bad snowstorm that hit Wisconsin? Yeah. I was in labor with her. The roof in Walmart in Nina collapsed in after like we bought the car seat. Okay? Like it was bad. So she was almost born on Friday the 13th and 30 inches of snow and 7 inches of ice on the way to the hospital. And yeah, it was great. Well, but she came out on the 14th because I held her. I held her in. No way was I having her on Friday the 13th. Avelina already means goddess of war and wisdom. She has red hair. It's April. It's an Aries. And it's a female popping out of me? Not on Friday the 13th, baby.
Yeah, Sam.
Emily was born on Friday the 13th.
I was about to say, Emily is among. Which, by the way, she never came back. She said she was going to.
She never came back.
No, she never came back.
She Jessica Rabbited that. She used.
Yeah, that's right, Joe. We also talked about rabbits earlier on the show.
Yeah, rabbits. We talked
Flemish
about
giants.
If I was born 20 minutes earlier, I would have been born on the 13th. Wow.
That Abby was like 40 minutes. I seriously did. I held her off. There was no way I was having a red hair demon on Friday the 13th. No, it would have just, no. And like I said, an Aries, and vagina coming out of mine. No, she was sitting. She's scary enough. She's gonna be the end of the world. Damn.
That's just funny. But yeah, they're going to be doing Friday the 13th, Tuesday for Fear fans, starting with the first one, apparently.
We actually have a couple of people that, because I reached out to a few of the other show hosts, like past ones who came on, and they were actually interested. That might be a big one for Tuesday night.
I will definitely come on for part 8 and Jason X.
Jan, if you want to come on too, you can as well.
For the return of Avelina? Absolutely. My aunt blessed this child with holy water. She was being, my aunt blessed her with holy water in the middle of the Sunset Girl. I just feel like I need to tell everybody this because everybody thinks I laugh about my daughter, but she's something else. She's 4 going on 5 tomorrow and a personality.
Actually, wait a second.
This holy water.
Before I forget.
4 going on 13.
No, I was going to say before I forget. Actually, no, it's not. We're not doing Fear Fans next Tuesday because I won't be available that day. So it'll actually be the following Tuesday.
Oh,
I already told Don that. Yeah. Joe, if you want to come on to Fear Fans, you're more than welcome to.
I was going to say.
So
I don't watch on this thing.
It'll be about 2 months before I come on to Fear Fans then.
That's going to be a while.
You're scheduled out.
Well,
What episode?
unless I can hop on this Tuesday if he wants to do the one with the original movie.
He's just concerned about just rescheduling it the following Tuesday, from what I remember hearing. Because again, that's when I have my. As a reminder, this upcoming Tuesday is the 3rd Tuesday of the month, and I have my passages meetings again. I always meet with them every 3rd Tuesday of the month.
Yeah.
So that's he's just considering about just doing it the following Tuesday.
All right. So then after that on Wednesday,
Nick Files will be back, of course, on Wednesday.
what will you be talking about?
I'm continuing on with Athens, Ohio, with part 3. But as a reminder, even though it's the same area, I got so many locations that I found, both haunted and historical, that I'm going to be covering. So Athens, Ohio is going to be a while, but it's not necessarily one location. It's multiple different locations.
Okay. And then also on Wednesday, Donald and I will be doing night number 2 of WrestleMania. So we're looking forward to that one.
Which WrestleMania?
This most recent one, 39.
Yeah, Tuesday the 25th for Fear fans. That would probably most likely be the scheduled date, Joe.
It was actually a very good one. There was so many matches where they just beat the shit out of each other.
I haven't watched in so many years, but I'm old school. I'm old school.
Just to give you a little teaser of what one of the matches was like, there was one match that had 3 guys in it, and they chopped each other so much that all 3 of them, by the end of this match, and it was probably 20, 25 minutes long, all 3 of them had solid red, bright red chests. They just kept smacking and smack. Oh, man.
Who's your favorite tag team partner? Like, who's your favorite tag team?
My favorite tag team, it would either be Legion of Doom or Heart Foundation.
That was for the belts, apparently.
Yeah, that was for the Intercontinental title. Yep.
See, I haven't watched since like I divorced my ex-husband, my first one.
My favorite wrestler is Bret
26.
Hart.
Bret Hart, yeah, I love Bret Hart. Bret Hart. Well, both Harts, but I love the Hardys. I love the Hardy Boys and Lita. Yep, I love them. Oh, the brothers. What's that?
Sheamus
Like that was
and
so
Gunther.
90s. Seriously, like I do that to somebody like in this like next generation. They're like,
Actually,
I like walk up to somebody and go, "What's that?"
on the night of WrestleMania, we actually lost Bushwhacker Butch. They didn't say from what, but on the night of WrestleMania, night 2, they lost Butch, and he was there in LA.
Was he?
Something different. But yeah, the matches that they had at WrestleMania, there were 2 main ones that they just beat the crap out of each other. The triple threat match on night 2, and then the ladies title match on the first night.
Ladies get nasty.
No,
Those girls get mean.
they can, but not on the level that they went.
Was it that bad? Was it like a Medusa moment?
These 2 took it to a level that even I have never seen.
Oh man, I might have to find some replays.
Yeah, it was just an amazing match those 2 had.
Do you
my
remember
God.
accidentally coming across on a black box, a free WrestleMania or like the free stuff on that special black box that some people would have, back in the day for pay-per-views?
Not me.
One
To get it
chest
for
was
free?
so red.
We
You
had
could
one
see
in the neighborhood.
broken blood vessels. Holy cow!
Literally in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Dog
they
out
were
at the same place.
beating each other that hard, Nick.
Jeez, it's almost like they were like. It was just like as if they were like smacking each other like a pound of meat or something. Like it was.
They were.
Tender.
They were.
They are meat. We are meat. Nick, they were smacking meat. They were smacking meat up against me and meat up against that.
I was gonna
Shut up, Jeremy.
You know what? I'm just gonna say
Actually,
this.
I was thinking of what Big E said one time. Big sweaty men smacking meat.
Yep. That's a lot of meat with sumo wrestlers.
I'm just
You
gonna
get
say
that much weight. That's a lot of meat up against meat action, baby. That's
I'm just gonna
called
say this.
inertia.
I'm just going to say this right now. This is just going to sound bad to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. And that is, if the fact that they hit themselves so hard that it was so red, that probably would be like a dream meal for a cannibal.
Tenderizing. Oh, I saw the best meme. And I forgot that this meme existed. Have you ever seen that meme with the person out in the safari and they're in a tent and he's praying, Lord, let this lion be Christian, and the Lord, and the next picture underneath is the lion going, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, Amen. Bless this Lord. for these are gifts that we're about ready to receive. I just die. I don't know why I thought about that, but yeah.
I have not seen.
I think it's the eating meat thing. You haven't seen that? I'll have to send it to you. It's pretty funny.
Nope. So yeah, we're going to be talking about night number 2 WrestleMania on Marks on Wrestling, and then whatever happens on this show next week.
Am I on next week?
If you want to be.
Yeah. Are we ditching? Are we ditching the saddlebags? No, I'm kidding. I miss them. Somebody has to not tell them that I talk smack about them all night, because I'll get it twice as bad next week and I just won't show up.
Unless they go back and watch the show.
I think they're gonna do that. When does Eileen have time to go back and watch the show? Or Adrian? This would be the time. Adrian's like, I got this long drive. I should watch to see if Janice talks smack. She talks smack right here.
There you go. Zach will be driving and she'll be the one watching the show. She's like,
Yep.
Damn straight Zach will be the one driving because he pulls over to pee.
she'll be coming out to you.
Bring it. I need some company. I'll make coffee. I'll bake some cookies. You want that cookie? I got that cookie for you and some milk. I'll even make a homemade cherry pie. You don't even have to ring the doorbell. You can just walk in. Yep. I'll serve you fresh coffee. Do you need creamer?
Jen has officially lost it.
She has.
I'm isolated.
I've enjoyed
testosterone.
So,
Kirby's like 2 years ago, Janice was a whole different person. She's domesticated now.
She's like, oh my God, Joe, I want when she's been
I was
smoking.
I was a different person 2 years ago.
Can you imagine if you told us where I told you that this network thing was going to happen? I'm super proud of you.
Yeah, it
I
is.
told you you could do it.
I did not think it would be as successful as it has been.
We've gone over a year, almost a year and a half now.
I remember throwing it out there and being demonized for it. I was like, you know what, Jeremy, you do a much better job. Let's do it. No, not by you. You were like, okay, I like this. Let's do
Not
this.
me
You
either.
know what? Yeah, let's go.
I did like the idea. It wasn't what I was intending to do, but when you put the idea out there to me, I was like, that's not a bad idea.
I'm proud of you.
But
Nick, I'm proud of you too. You guys have come so far. I'm still the same. Just domesticated.
By creating angels.
Naked on Mars.
There you go. Why don't you and Jen do a show and call yourself Martian Angels?
We've tried to do shows. We just can't seem to get the time to, you know what the problem is Jen and I are just not meant to be like together all the time. Because if we were together all the time, can you imagine what we would be like all the time together? It'd be time together all the time.
Both of you
It'd be
are
all
separately on shows, so yeah.
We started.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to be closer to these girls because they are literally, I have such a limited number of friends, believe it or not. Oh, wow, I'm not Miss Popular, which I'm fine with. I only have like a certain, like, I have 4 girlfriends. That's it. And my daughter-in-law and my kids. And then, of course, Jesse. But he has the beard. No, I don't have very many friends. So I'm pretty excited.
But isn't that all you need?
Yeah, that's all I need. Legit. Like, all I need is Jen, and all I need is Adrian bitching in the back seat, and we're good. I'm happy. We can go.
I
Mars, right?
Nobody puts baby in the back.
Because she needs to take 2 gummies and shut up while we drive.
I know. I remember hearing the interactions between you two when you called me during that tornado.
We are something else on a road trip. People go, how do you and Adrian do on a road trip? We do great. We do phenomenal, really. With as different as we are, it works so well. Like it's crazy.
Yeah,
But I think anybody else other than Jen in there would go crazy.
That was how it was with me and Nick. We did really well.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be.
I
doing
can't
it
wait.
again, and we're gonna be doing it again soon.
With me, boys. You're coming to see me. Sorry.
After all this time.
After all this time, I finally get to meet everybody. I mean, imagine I've only met a handful of people, and we don't talk about 99% of the people I've met,
Brad.
which is fine by me because I can go and delete it. But yeah, I'm excited to meet everybody. I'm super excited to finally be able to get my feet on the ground and see everybody and dive in and just be in a positive atmosphere. And that's huge when doing investigations or going searching. You got to be comfortable with who you're with, especially somebody like me in the medium energy field. I can't just go investigating with Blow Schmo down the street. I have to trust you. And I just, Nick, I cannot wait. I'm going to lick your right cheek.
Better wear a mask for that one.
Straight through the mask. Straight through the mask. You're going to feel it all the way up. No.
She'll find a loose piece of skin on you, Nick.
That just sounded so wrong. Wait a minute. Well, wait, which cheek?
This one. Right there. That's where I'll get you. Is right there.
That just sounds so wrong right now.
I'm gonna mark my territory. No. No, I'm actually.
No, I wish we were going to Mars, though, Brad.
I'd go for a one-way trip right now.
That's the
With
right
me?
side. But that's the right side. You said left.
No, this is my right side. This is my left hand. This is my right hand. Okay? You wax on, wax off.
And that's where she does the bang bang. All right, guys, we got to get going. We're coming up on 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do have to ask both of you guys something about that trip, but I will not be long, though. So if you guys can just wait for like a quick minute after the credits. So,
Yeah,
no, not 7 more to go. No 7 hours. We're ending this now.
No, he meant minutes. He meant minutes. And I hate to tell you, baby, it's not 7. That's like
No.
6 minutes and like 10 seconds.
No. He was
And I
referring
turned into
to
a pumpkin.
he was referring to 7 seconds.
Oh, no, that's my ex-husband. That's why he couldn't be a bull rider either.
Okay, guys, good night.
Good night, everyone.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for playing along. We average 100 comments an hour, so that's
That
really
was
good.
great. And I'll see some of you guys. I'll see some of you guys tomorrow afternoon for Frighteners.
I love you guys where you're at.
Have a good night.
You guys have a good night.